Between the rise of the Kimrog Empire and the tumultuous Demon Wars, there was an enigmatic era. A time when brave souls traversed oceans and continents in search of glory, riches, and power. Let us tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hello, my friends, and welcome back to High Adventure. It has been more than a minute. It's been months since we've been able to get together and play, but the whole crew is back. So if you're binge watching, you might have just watched the last episode. And in that last episode, the brothers Zhen, in their effort to reestablish this mining operation on the island of Nisia and begin to build some sort of resources and wealth, have encountered some challenges with some strange creatures, white-furred, large, strong, clearly, who don't seem to be willing to just give up this spot on this mountain. And if anything, in the course of your investigations, you've found that they're willing to defend this spot on the mountain. In the course of your adventures, you have made alliances with a combination of Iraqi people from the village of Tsitsi and also some of your original friends from Sacura. In addition, you came across an established gentleman by the name of Wangozo, who with his family immigrated and built a life here on the island of Nisia. And Wangozo agreed to guide you to this spot that you are now at. So one other acquaintance that came along in a strange sort of way was a sentient eagle. And as you interacted with this sentient eagle, the eagle revealed that it was a familiar of a person who identified himself as White Eagle. So you have scouted out the area. You've identified that there are at least 8, if not more, of these white-furred creatures who are kind of defending the mountain. What is in the mountain? What are they defending? Why wouldn't they leave? Those are all questions that may be still unanswered. But you do know that Wangozo and a few of your men who were establishing a camp to the south and were kind of starting to gather lumber for construction, that they had been attacked. One of those men was killed. A couple other were chased. And in investigating this, you found that the ones that had been chased were chased by some sort of man who they described as very fair-skinned, like an Iraqi person, but with like golden kind of white hair, like basically white, but with a slight gold hue. And that man transformed into one of the white-furred beasts. And your tracking did kind of reveal that this seemed to be true, as you saw humanoid footsteps kind of turn into this quadrupedal form that was much larger. So we pick up with you guys. Your day had been very busy, and it is late afternoon and approaching evening. You guys had lit a large fire, and you were kind of signaling using smoke signals. So you kind of have your base camp established. So what do you want to do?
I think after today's events, me and my brothers kind of huddle up and kind of confer with each other and talk about what we should do. Say, brothers, as I mentioned before.
Point of order. Is it just the three of you, or are you with like Wangozo and any of the others?
What do you think?
I could have sworn that we were away from the campfire in the back of the tents. I think we were like away from them, so we didn't
Okay.
get seen. I think
Okay.
we're on the backside. So
it's
I
just
think
the three
Wongozo's
of you
there.
guys.
Three of us. Yes.
Yeah, for now. As I said before, on my little scouting outing, I found a couple of different openings. What do you think we should do? Should we take it to them, or should we try and draw them out?
Well, I think sitting here is going to cause us to get ambushed, and I don't think we have the numbers to defend all of these white furs. So we need to like divide and conquer, I think.
Okay.
What do you think, Joe?
If the three of us sneak attack the beasts, our camp can cause a diversion. But before we head up there, we should create some traps in case they chase us when we are complete with our mission.
I might be able to help with that part.
Okay.
Let's round up everyone and tell them the plan.
Okay.
Okay.
Cade, I think you're going to be the best suited to make the arrangements for this.
Well, while you guys are talking to the rest, I'll start on making some pitfalls.
Okay. So
Okay.
I'd like, can I find Wongozo and then have him and his crew create long spikes, like 8-foot or 7-foot long spikes for us, and as many as abundant as we can get. I think that our tree camp further down would be suitable to make or to have enough wood for us to do something like that, Bill.
Yeah, I'll say that at this point, by this time, every one of your crew at least has one spear.
Okay.
He can make more longer kind of spiked, spike ended, kind of two-handed posts effectively. They're not going to be the same quality as everyone's existing weapons, the weapons that you guys and all of your men have, but they would be decent enough to set up kind of perimeter defenses if that's what you're looking for.
So we're thinking about making pitfalls and then inside covering those up and using the sticks into the pits. So they don't need to be, quality. They just need to be sharp points, and that's about it.
So they start breaking apart branches and sharpening them and stuff. Are you excavating the pits with magic? Is that how you're making these?
With mold earth.
Okay. So you start making the pits. Where are you making the pits? Are these outside of your camp perimeter, like along the base of the mountain?
Just outside the camp itself, kind of like as a second another layer of defense.
Okay. So you start doing that. They're making they're making these, chopping them and making them as quickly as they can.
Yeah.
That's going to take a while. Like probably all the rest of the afternoon, evening, and into the night.
Okay.
Even if you have like a bunch of people working on it, it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
We still need to gather climbing equipment, weapons, whatever we will need to go up the side of the mountain.
Okay.
Definitely ropes.
You take some time to do that while Cade and the other people are kind of preparing these pit traps. You guys start inventorying what you have. Collectively, you have enough equipment to do 6 climbing kits. In other words, you could do 6 people at a time that get to a certain altitude, let's say like 100 feet. And then, the people that get to the 100 feet would have to wait up there, and then the next group of 6 can go up. Or you can combine the kits and have 3 kits that can go 200 feet up. Now, for scale, you should remember that the outcropping above the mine entrance was 100 feet from your base camp. when you guys saw during Cade's recon, the highest altitude where you saw evidence of like entrances, like cave openings and stuff, was closer to 200 feet.
It's just the three of us, right, boys?
So if it's just the three of you,
Yeah, just
you
the three
can
of us.
double. You can combine the climbing kits and have 3 people going up to an altitude of 200 feet at the same time.
Okay.
Right. So, what we discussed before, off session. Do you brothers still want me to go up and try and, block one of the entrances? That because there was that 3-foot entrance, and there was the other big entrance that seemed like a main entrance, and I think besides the original mine entrance, those were the only ones we saw, right, brothers?
Yes.
I think that's what you relayed to us. Yeah.
Yes. If we block the large entrance, it might trap them.
We could go in through the small entrance.
Yeah.
I didn't go in it obviously, but it's like 3 by 3. We could fit through there, I think.
Okay. I'm game for that. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so it doesn't take Shao and Shou that much time to kind of like assemble climbing supplies. So for the other 4 hours, when Cade and the rest of the guys are making pit traps, what are Shao? What are you two doing?
I would want to gather as many dry leaves and wet leaves per se, not like really fresh. Just start gathering as much as we can, because we discussed about making smoke, right? So we need to start doing that as well. So everybody else is making the spikes. Cade's getting ready to do Cade stuff, and then Cho and I don't know if Cho has something else, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start gathering that.
I actually want to go speak with Mongoso and tell him the plan, so that he is included in what we've discussed.
Okay.
And then I will join you.
Okay.
So you go to Mongoso. He's kind of I would say that he's kind of coordinating at this point. And he says, "Please tell me of this plan. I am concerned that perhaps, although I do not doubt the battle prowess of you and your brothers, I'm concerned that perhaps just 3 of you against at least 8 of those things would not go very well."
What we have discussed is that the 3 of us will go up the mountain after we've barricaded the large entrance, and the remaining crew on camp will act as a diversion. We're setting traps all around the camp in case anything gets out of the caves. But the 3 of us at dawn. Did we discuss dawn? Sorry. Yeah.
Sure.
The 3 of us, after we've made all of the arrangements, we will traverse the mountain, and we will go in a small entrance and try to execute the beasts where they lay. Now, if these are nocturnal creatures, as we believe they are, they will be more powerful at the nighttime. So we want to go in there as they are going into their sleep mode to get a surprise attack on them. Now, if they escape, if they come down the mountain, if they follow us back down, we will have traps set everywhere with pits and spikes. So hopefully that will take care of some of them, and then we may just have an old-fashioned fight on our hands.
Wangozo, he kind of seems to be contemplating this as he rocks back and forth with his spear in his hand. And he says, "You may remember the story that I told you about my family's arrival here and how we established our home in that fertile area of this island. I believe that if my brother was still alive, that we would have expanded our land and maybe our farms and perhaps grown more prosperous and Who knows? Perhaps even have established a small village. But I have found happiness here on this island, and I have found safety and prosperity for my family. So it is important that you understand that whatever happens here tonight, I hope that it would not create greater problems for my family or for the other people on the eastern side of the island, from where the fair-skinned Araki people come. You must know that when you kick the nest of a hornet,
Yes.
it may sting you, but it may also awaken the rest of the hornets who would come after you.
As long as they occupy the caves, no one in this land is safe and no one can prosper. This is the primary source of this is the island's only chance to be able to support themselves for generations to come. These creatures are not from this land, and they come here, and they may not have ill intentions, but they need to move on one way or another. And if it's to the afterlife, then it's to the afterlife.
He says, as you see fit, I will ensure to the best of my ability that none of the men under your employ fall victim to attacks.
You are appreciated, my friend.
He nods, and then he kind of goes off over towards the east end of the camp where your brother Cade is now unearthing a tunnel of dirt and creating this series of pit traps and berms. It kind of almost becomes like a trench warfare, multi-layered system. Okay. Shao Zhen, what are you doing, if anything, during this time? Or are you just kind of helping with the spikes?
Yeah, well, I was gathering the branches and stuff like that and bringing them into the camp area on the back side of it. Yeah.
I'll say that there's you have a squad of 4 people, two of the Sacurans and 2 of the Irakis from the village.
Okay.
And you guys are constantly just, making kindling and kind of, chopping wood and keeping the supply strong.
Okay.
All right. About, I'm going to say 10 PM, well into the night. Your camp is illuminated by the central fire and then a series of smaller kind of outpost fires and torches that you have ringed around the camp. And Cade, you are finished, but you've just spent the last many hours just blowing through magical energy.
I'm tired.
You are fatigued, and you're hungry, you're thirsty, you're covered in dirt. You've just unearthed a tremendous amount of the area around this camp.
Yes. I'm gonna take a break.
So at about, all this stuff finishes up at 10. You take a rest. No one's injured, so everybody gets the benefit of a short rest regardless. And at about 11 o'clock, there's a kind of a significant amount of cloud cover rolling in, and it sort of obscures the moonlight, so there's not as much moonlight.
Mm-hmm.
You still have plenty of light in your camp from the fires, but the beyond your camp is fairly dark. You don't even really get the silhouette of the mountain from the moonlight because the moon is so obscured.
Is it natural?
Good question.
Perception check.
I will let anyone with nature roll nature.
I got a 0, but I'll still roll. I don't know.
Yeah, I got a nature. I got a 0 too.
Yeah, buddy.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Well, the druid is like, that amount of fog
I got a 14.
Weird.
is weird. The temperature has shifted pretty rapidly. That's a lot of fog, and the moon is obscured. And it seems to you now, you haven't left camp, but if you were to leave camp, you feel like if you walked north through the valley towards the coast, that you would not see this dense of a ring of clouds and fog obscuring, this area.
Mm-hmm.
We're not close to each other, right?
This seems like it's all, kind of around the ring of the mountain at a higher altitude.
Mm-hmm. Can I look towards the mountain and I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to actually see because of obviously the obscuring stuff, but can I see anything up there or anyone?
All of you could make a perception check if you'd like. You're looking up at the mountain.
I'm going to what's that fucking thing? Sorry.
15.
I'm going to use my mark of rebirth.
Natural 20. Yoo-hoo. 23.
Ooh, natural 20, bro.
Jeez!
With
Nice
with
opening
the 4
roll.
on the with a 4 on the guidance plus my perception. So that's 20, 24,
Okay.
31. 31.
Yeah, it doesn't count over 30.
It's 31.
That is rather epic. Okay, so a couple things. There is with that high level, you're going to see two things. Number one, you begin to see that there's two things happening. There's fog rolling down the mountain, like slowly coming down the mountain towards your camp. And you see at about 150 feet up the mountain, just a blur of physical shape, like doing this. And the fog seems to be rolling down the mountain from this blur of a person. But because of your epic level of perception, it seems to you that there's something else like happening, a precipitation that's happening that is not just emanating from that one person or figure that is up the mountain. It seems like there's some other unnatural level of weather-based effect that is happening.
How far away? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say how far away he is from the base camp.
So I would say probably 250 feet total, like 150 feet up, but like 100 feet away from the base camp.
My question was, do I recognize this as Druidic magic?
It could be.
Awesome.
I'll let you make an Arcana check to tell.
All right.
You definitely don't know what this spell is.
Right.
There's two things happening. So I'll let you the base of your Arcana check.
That's a 5.
Okay. So on the one hand, you feel like the effect that you see coming from the figure up on the hill, like doing this, you're fairly certain that that's fog cloud, which is a very common spell, and it's something that druids can certainly do.
Yeah.
But the other thing that's going on with the weather and the clouds,
Different.
that seems to be of a whole other level than simply fog cloud.
Right. Right. I don't know if my brothers have seen it, but I go to them and I point out this asshole doing fog cloud.
Should we stoke the fires and get them burning brighter and hotter so that the inclement weather does not affect our plan?
As you say
Symmetrical.
this, you hear a rumble of thunder.
Jesus.
Bastards.
Dude, really? We're
It's coming tonight, brothers. It's
wah
coming
wah
tonight.
wah. Yeah. Got an umbrella?
He would be easy to assassinate while he's engulfed in his spell cast.
I mean, I can step to the wind, but not that fast. I mean, I will never get to him. I mean, I can. Yeah, I'm just looking at what I can
Yeah.
do, but doesn't look like I do much. All right.
Do you have
well,
defensive measures, brother?
oh, absolutely. That I do, but
With your no, brother Cade,
Yeah,
with
okay.
your magic. Do you have defensive measures? But you are too tired. You can't. You have no use to us right now.
yeah.
Yeah, I got my short rest. I'm all right.
Oh, you're good. You're good to go.
Yeah, I'm fine. To answer your question, depends on what aspect of defense you're talking about. I have access to certain.
Can
Druidic-
you combat weather with weather? Can you bring sunshine?
If you recall, I can bring a little bit of daylight, but that's about the
Not enough.
extent of that. And that particular spell only has limited amount of uses, and I'm kind of saving that energy for something else.
Okay. Well, I think we should just stick to our plan. I mean, regardless of the elements that are changing around us. I mean, we have our game plan. Obviously, it's not in our favor at this moment, but we can create
Yeah.
some
Right.
opportunities. So how
Mhm.
so how far along are we right now with the arrangements that we try to do?
It's done. You're done.
Yeah,
we're all done.
good.
So let's go ahead and go to phase 2. Let's start making the fires in the camp, and then start putting the dry brush on the main fire,
Yeah, done.
and talk to
Okay.
Wangozo and get everybody to the second camp.
Secondary camp.
Okay.
Okay, and then have
Alright.
him set up some defenses there. And
Okay.
let's get ready.
All right. So you guys make your basically your cover smoke, right?
Yeah.
Like you stoke the fires, then you throw some green on there to get smoke. You're obscuring your camp is kind of, has a layer of smoke from multiple different points, and Wangozo kind of is crouched down with his supplies and his spear, and he leads your group out the southern kind of like little tunnel that Cade created, past the defenses and towards that southern camp that he had set up. So now it's just the three of you in the main camp. Your own vision is limited. I mean, like you can't see more than like 10 feet, maybe 20 feet past the torches that are on the perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like the cloud cover from above is thicker and the fog around the base of the mountain is thicker. You do not see that figure at this point. Like either he's moved or
Yeah.
it's so obscured by fog that you can't see a person.
How many
So-
hours until dawn? Or dawn. So.
Well, I'll say that it's, like I said, it's by the time you did your short rest and you just got everybody out of here, it's like 11. So dawn is at 6. So you have 7 hours.
So I posed to my brothers, we're going at dawn or so, and should we just wait here, and then when dawn goes, we take off?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
We want to make sure that
my-
everybody's ready to go. So if everybody needs to take a little rest or whatever after all this, yeah, I'm game.
Well, my concern is that the fog is to provide cover for the beast to come and attack us tonight. So my fear is that our plan is one day too late. So how can we elevate the plan and avoid attack?
Well, if we're gonna stay up all night and ready for attack, I can give you guys dark vision like I did before.
Well, I mean, we don't need it right this second, do we? I mean, so you're saying we have a visibility between 10 and 20 feet. That's not night vision. That's just
No, you can
overall.
get 60 with dark vision.
Even through smoke and cover and everything.
Well,
You get
you can see in the dark. You can't see through, fog.
right. Your some of your some of your visuals are going to be limited.
Be better though.
You hear thunder again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not above us. It's towards the mountains. Yes.
On the mountain.
No, this seems to be coming from whatever that greater elevation is up in the sky where the cloud cover is obscuring the moon.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that we can go around a different path than straight up the road towards that plateau area where we saw this guy?
It'll be slow for you guys, or for all of us really, because we got to use the climbing gear. If you guys want to do this tonight instead of at dawn,
We should at least
strike while the iron's hot.
position ourselves at least. That way, if they come down, they'll come down to nothing but our traps and our smoke. But hopefully there'll be some left behind for us to kill.
Oh, sure.
There's a flash in the sky of lightning, and it looks like it's about 5 miles to the north of you guys. So the flash of lightning in the sky is bright enough to momentarily illuminate the silhouette of the mountain, which is covered in fog.
Yeah.
You see, Cade, you count at least 8 figures kind of along the mountain at that 100-foot line.
Okay. Where the big cave entrance is?
Yeah, and they're not moving, but they're standing there. So like in that flash of lightning, you kind of see the mountain, you see it covered in fog, but you see like these 8 kind of spectral figures.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it starts lightly raining, like drops. Just.
Well, brothers, we're gonna wait. We're gonna go.
They're already outside, so how we?
Yeah, if we want to cave in that entrance, they're already standing there.
My only concern is, now that I've noticed the person who created this fog cloud can probably take control of the storm up there and use it against us, because I have a similar ability.
I agree. And it's too much unknown for us to run in. I made that mistake last time and almost got brother killed.
So then let's, as brother suggested, move to a different location.
Agreed.
And wait.
Yep, that's fine. Yeah, let's do it. Let's give ourselves a more of an advantage than disadvantage. Right now we're at disadvantage. If we leave the camp, I think we're gonna get crushed.
Yeah, if we try to assault right now.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
Let's stoke up that fire a little more and.
Yeah, I get that fire going, Bill. I mean, I get it as
it's going
as thick as possible. So
okay, it's going. You're slightly concerned about the smaller perimeter torches that you guys have burning, because as the rain starts to pick up a little bit now, they're still lit, but it's kind of like when rain's falling on a fire, it's starting to dim a little bit. But your main fire is burning hot.
Okay.
What are Shao and Cade doing during this time? Are you helping with the fires, or what are you doing?
I'm helping with the fire. Maybe Cade with better ability to see and make his way around is looking for an alternate way out of here.
Going to cast dark vision on myself.
Okay. You cast dark vision on yourself. Go ahead and make a perception check.
19
Damn.
+7, bro.
That is a beautiful stat.
Okay, so you like your brothers are like stoking the fire. The rain starts to come down. Like it's coming down now. It's legit raining,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The little torches are going out around the perimeter, but your main fire is still hot.
That's not ominous at all.
You hear lightning crack in the sky again. Or sorry, you see lightning flash, and moments later you hear the thunder from that. But in that flash of lightning, you notice that there are not 8 figures up at the 100-foot altitude.
They're coming.
I cast dark vision on Cho.
Okay.
You get the last one.
Keep track of your spell slots.
I'm marking them off on my character sheet.
All right, so Cho has dark vision, right? You guys keep feeding the fire. You realize that if you don't have something to maybe cover this fire, that the rain, if the rain picks up and becomes heavy rain, there's a good chance that it won't be able to.
Yeah. Can we use? Did they take the tents with them?
No, not all of them. You could
So
probably take a tent and kind of prop it up so it doesn't start on fire.
Yeah. Like a lean-to type of thing. I suggest that, and I also make my brothers aware that the figures aren't there anymore.
We have to move fast. I'll help with the tent. I'll climb up and post it up so that it doesn't, the rain doesn't affect the big fire.
Okay. So you use some of the larger logs to kind of pick the posts of one of the tents up so that it's not directly over the fire and it's high enough. There's enough clearance to where the fire is not going to just burn up the tent. And as you guys are just finishing this up, you hear, the roll of thunder again, flashes of lightning. And it seems like this storm is getting, it's getting closer. It's not just to the north, off of the island. It's actually coming overhead.
I look over at how close are my brothers to me? Pretty
10
close.
feet away. You're all around the fire right now, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of pause on feeding the fire, and I reach behind me and I grab my drink, and I kind of look out in the distance, which I can't see, but I look out in the distance, and then I kind of turn around and look at the brothers, and I say, how do we end in this situation? I take a big gulp of my special drink that our cook gave me, and I say, out of all our years, have you guys would ever expect to be in a situation where we're in? And then I reach out with my drink to Brother Cho first and say, younger brother, I hope that we make it through the night.
As do I.
But I'm glad to be here with you guys. So pass it on to him.
It definitely warms you up. You feel like as the rain's coming down, like the ground is getting kind of more saturated. The lightning flashes are now every minute. They're much more frequent. Each time the lightning flashes, it's not like you when it's flashing. So sometimes it flashes and you weren't looking off. Sometimes maybe you're looking around the perimeter. So I'll have each one of you make a perception check. And this is kind of a good example of how you could randomly just catch something out of the corner of your eye.
Uh,
26.
19.
Yeah, man.
Natural 19 +7.
Another natural 20.
Get out of here, man.
I swear, buddy. I'm taking pictures to make sure I have evidence.
That's awesome. I want your dice.
It's on D&D Beyond, man. I'm just
So you guys, at a couple points, right? Like unless there's something specific other than just standing around the fire that you want to do. The rain is the rain is coming down, right? You're like the storm is right overhead. Lightning's flashing at, faster intervals now, like every 20 to 30 seconds. And randomly at certain points when you happen to be kind of like looking away from the fire up at the mountain and the lightning flashes, even those of you, Shao and Cade, you don't see any figures on the mountain or near the mine entrance or near the path going up to the entrance.
Interesting.
I'm moving away from the fire and into the shadows with my dark vision. I'm going to start looking around.
Stealth.
Have your weapons ready.
Yes.
All right.
I look at Cade and I say, "Give me that." And I take the drink back and I start.
He didn't even give it to me.
Yeah, sure. I'm supposed to give it to you. Pass it around.
Oh, sorry, brother. It was so good in keeping me warm.
All right. Give me a Show. Give me a stealth check.
That would be a 22.
Okay, you are quite stealthy. You using the storm and the rain and stuff, you kind of dart back and forth and you get to sort of the northern perimeter of the camp. Now, you know how to get in and out of the camp safely using the system that your brother excavated without falling into a pit trap. But you are not leaving the camp, right? Or are you?
Correct. I'm just leaving the fire so that I'm not in the direct light of the fire.
Okay, so it takes a few moments for your eyes to adjust to this power of dark vision. But you leave the fire and now you're kind of like looking out over one of the, the trench walls and you're kind of like looking out. There's no torches. And you don't see anything within your 60 feet of dark vision along anywhere to the north of the camp. Every once in a while when the lightning flashes, you see the mountain silhouetted. Make a perception check.
17.
In one of these instances, as you were looking up, the lightning flashes and you see a figure standing at the top of the trail that leads to the mouth of the mine. Remember how there was like the trail that went up and then it plateaued and then there's the entrance to the mine? There's someone standing up there. It looked to you like a man, not one of these beasts. Looked to you like a man with like long, straight, white, kind of yellow hair and fair skin. And he seemed to be like wearing like a cloak. And he's just standing there.
Have I encountered any magic users other than my brother in my travels?
I would say that in your guild work, you may have had some missions where certain things were done magically to facilitate the mission getting done. You know what I mean? So you know that like there are people who wield magic that is like your brother that invokes the powers of nature. There are people who wield magic that invoke the power of the cosmos and the gods, divine power. And then you know that there are some who wield magic that are maybe that are arcane. You know that wizards exist and that, in Sacura, wizards are kind of, they exist and people know they exist, but it's not like an honorable thing. Like from a social perspective, wizards are kind of, people are suspicious of wizards.
They're all evil, according to the people.
Not necessarily evil, but just like suspicious of wizards and kind of superstitious about what they do and how they do it.
Yeah. Unlike druids are a little bit held differently.
Druids and clerics are like acknowledged and accepted and seem like, they socially speaking, like, but like wizards that's like a less honorable sort of profession in Sacura.
And by the light or by the vision, can I see any details other than just kind of silhouette of the guy?
No, if you move closer, you could. But I mean, you're about 150 feet away. So he's, he's 50 feet up, or sorry, you're 50 feet away from the path and he's like 100 feet up. So you're,
So I would like to still using the shadows and moving in stealth. I'd like to move in closer and see if I can get a better look at him.
Okay. Go ahead and make me another stealth check.
24.
That is healthy, especially since I rolled an 8. All right, so you kind of dip down and you start weaving your way through the death traps that your brother left in the pits and the spiky areas. You make it out of the camp and you clear the ground towards the base of the path that goes up the mountain. And you're going up the gravelly path and you're kind of dipping in. You get within your dark vision range and he is still there. He doesn't seem to see you though, because you see, like, you're kind of coming up almost on the side of him now, like in his peripheral. He still seems to be like huddled in the rain, wearing this, this fur blanket basically over himself and looking down at the camp. You see that this figure resembles the description that you guys were given of the man who was chasing the two people and turned into a beast. He is probably 6'4", with like white hair. That's kind of, maybe at one point it was blonde, but it's now very white. Very fair skinned. And as you are now closer, you see that this man is older. Like he looks like he looks like perhaps he's in his 60s.
Does he have any identifying marks on his face? Is he wearing a pendant? Is there anything that I can see on him that I could report to the guys to let them know?
You don't think he's wearing clothes underneath the blanket. Like he has a blanket wrapped around him. He's standing on this plateau, like looking down at your camp. The rain is coming down. His hair is just, matted and just like water's just dripping down him. And you don't see any boots or shoes. Like you see bare feet on the gravel.
Okay, I'd like to shoot an arrow at his face.
Okay. Is this a short bow, long bow?
It's a long bow.
Okay. So this counts as a sneak attack because he has no idea that you're there.
Right. So I'm going to use my additional action to disengage after I've placed the shot to make sure that he can't pinpoint my location. I'm just going to change locations.
Got it.
And that is a 19.
That is a hit. And because you are an assassin, that is a
that's why they call you the Shadow Brother.
Yeah. That counts as an assassinate. So
Does
you
anything
actually
happen to the storm?
You first of all, that hits, but make a second roll just in case, because you might crit.
Oh yeah, you're at advantage.
23.
Okay, so either way, you hit, and it counts as a critical hit. So you're using a longbow, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means the base damage for a longbow is 8. What's your dex bonus?
+3.
Okay, so
wait, whoa! Where's my dex bonus? +3, yeah, that's right.
So all right, so it's 8. You're gonna roll an extra d8. This is the crit damage.
7 + 3, 10.
Okay, so 15, 18 damage. Now roll your sneak attack damage.
with the D8.
No, your sneak attack
Oh,
is
sneak
6.
attack. 4.
Okay, so you
Oh, my sneak attack damage is 3d6.
yeah.
Sorry. Let me do that again. $13.
Okay, so 8 plus 7 is 15 plus 3 is 18 plus 13 is 31 damage.
Double? Don't you
Yeah.
double the 3d6? It's crit.
Yeah, what is what? Oh, you had 13, 26, 44 damage.
Yeah, I think he's dead.
Yeah.
No,
You
probably
hit
not.
him. You hit him in the throat. The arrow goes into his throat, and you see he just is like, oh, and he falls and hits the ground.
Gnarly.
You disengage, and kind of fall back around like a little rocky outcropping.
And then I observe. Anything change, Bill?
Oh, make a perception check.
Okay. 14.
You don't see any creatures.
I'm going to quickly sneak back to camp and tell the boys what has happened.
Okay. Stealth check.
Natural 20 plus 6, 26.
You guys are sitting by the fire, and you're like, "Where is brother? Why is he taking so long?" And he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" Like he just appears. So Cho, you arrive at the fire.
I've
Look at-
killed someone.
What?
There was a man on the ledge. A naked man, I believe. It's very strange, but I believe he was casting the spell, but I don't see anything has changed. But I took him out.
Did you confirm that he's dead?
Not yet. I wanted to tell you what I found.
Oh.
I only he's in open space. If I confirm the kill, I may be detected.
Do you? Oof, I look at Cade. I mean, should we follow up on this, or I mean, it's still pouring down, right, Bill? I mean, it's still raining.
Yes.
I cast Conjure Animals,
Okay.
and I'm going to summon. Oops, let me look at my spell.
Oh, is
Summon,
it happening? Is it happening?
I'm getting ready, bro.
Yeah.
I summon eight beasts of challenge rating 1/4 or lower.
Okay. Gosh, let me think of what is native to.
Well, I think
Devil
it
cats.
makes sense. No, that's too much. It makes sense, like as Cade's, he prefers to be a dire wolf. That it probably would be something he's more apt with. But it's
Wolves?
always still up to the DM. Yeah, but it's still up to the DM, of course.
Yeah. Okay. I'll say that. A pack of wolves basically appears.
Okay. I send out 2 wolves to where the fallen person was that brother shot to make sure it's dead. And with instructions
So-
to kill it if it's still alive.
Okay, so they could take instructions, but they don't like just communicate with you, right?
They understand.
They
what I
understand,
told
but they can't talk back to you. They obey any
No.
verbal commands that you issue to them.
them. Mhm.
But you can't send them to like investigate something and report back because they have no way of like talking to you
Mm,
unless you are using some other means of communicating with them. So you send 2 of them to go check this out, right?
yeah, I tell them to go check it out and then come back.
Okay.
I know they can't talk to me, but yeah.
5 minutes later, they come back and they're dragging a blanket that looks like it's just made out of an old like fur of maybe some kind of like water buffalo or some, large
animal.
animal. The fur is soaked in blood. The blanket has blood, like half of it's soaked in blood.
Yeah.
And they drop this at your feet.
I pat their heads, and then was he wearing this, brother? I assume.
It looks very much like what he was wearing.
Looks like it.
Seems he's not dead then.
What do you have the wolves do?
Right now, I have them go outside the perimeter and kind of facing towards the mountain, and only alert if they smell anything, like the Yetis, based on what the cave, has the scent. They will let me know via howl.
Okay. What are you guys doing so they take off to do kind of, perimeter dog guard duty. What are you guys doing thereafter?
I grab that and I try to inspect it. I mean, is there anything unusual other than being a regular piece of fur? I mean, I know the blood's on there, but I try not to get any blood on me.
It is not white. It's not like white fur like these beasts. It looks like just like a brown, and it looks old. So you feel like it might be one of the grazing wild animals that lives on the island, like one of the water buffalo kind of animals.
Can I use it and rub it all over me? And I
Yes.
suggest that Cho does the same. I go, whoever this person was, obviously we don't know if he's dead or alive, but if it has any connection with the Yetis, maybe we can change our scent if we're going to do anything and kind of like cover it up. And then I kind of do that, and then I pass it to Cho. I don't know if Cho did. And then I say, give it back, and then I maybe stuff it in a pouch. And then we can't sit here all day, guys. We need to do something. And it's still raining, not stopped.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
I've got
And
an hour. with
I
these
put some
wolves.
more stuff on the fire to get it going.
I have a meta question. Well, I get maybe not. So my intention of killing the dude was, I was thinking he was the one conjuring the storm, but apparently I was wrong, because he might not be dead, but he's definitely taken some damage, and he's probably recovering somewhere.
Well, the fog, to be clear, the fog that like you originally saw him up the mountain doing this, that fog is gone, but this storm is like a actual storm.
Okay. So now it's just stormy.
All right, that makes
not
sense.
foggy. Okay.
I think, yes, let's start to move in.
Brother Cade, can we have your friends guide us, and then give us any kind of inclination if there's any of the Yetis up top while we transverse up, and then
They have they can smell and hear well, so if they see or hear or smell anything, they'll let us know as we ascend.
okay, let's get going.
Okay. So how are you going to go up? Are you going up the path towards the mine entrance?
I think we should go the way that I went and killed and shot the man.
Okay. So you lead the way. Are you guys stealthing or just going with the wolves?
Stealthing.
A stealth, yeah.
Healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Cade, you have to make a roll for your wolves and then
Yes.
make your own roll.
All right, making my roll first. That was shite.
Ooh.
6, and then for the wolves.
Yeah.
they're
The wolves get, they have a +4 to stealth.
Yeah, I have it up.
Okay.
The wolves rolled a 21.
The wolves are like in hunting pack mode. They're like, they're like going up, you guys are following him, Cho.
I rolled an
25.
8.
Oh god.
I'm
Shao,
here.
you like kind of skid on some gravel while you're taking a drink and walking up. The rest of you guys with the wolves, when you get up to the plateau, Cho, you see the spot where the guy fell. His body is not there. I'll say all of you should make perception checks.
18.
25.
I'm going to roll for the wolves. Okay. So you guys see,
I got 7.
even though the rain has kind of diluted it, you see some patches of blood on the kind of ground, on the gravel and the dirt. And it looks like drops of blood, not like small drops, like blood that go towards the cave entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you're about 30 feet away from where that is, like at the plateau.
Okay.
What do you want the wolves to do? They're kind of circled around you guys right now.
Go get them.
Keep on the lookout. Are we going in, brothers? Are we doing it?
Yeah, let's get going. Yeah.
Should now wait a minute. Is there still rubble inside the cave that we can use for cover? Inside the mouth? From the fallen rocks from prior?
So
That's
the interesting thing is that as you were up here, it looks like some of the rocks that had fallen over this are gone. Not all of them, but it looks like some have been removed to the extent where maybe a person could squeeze through and actually get back into the tunnel.
Mm-hmm. Easy enough for us to get in and the wolves.
You feel like if you went through one at a time, you could get through.
Yeah.
And that's where the blood droplets seem to lead to.
Yeah.
Shall we follow the blood trail?
This is the original mine entrance, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's this entrance, and then there's up above is the other main entrance that I found.
Correct. So are you guys going to climb up to the upper altitude?
What do you think, brothers? I think it's better than going to this
vantage point.
To this trap.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't want to go through through this down
neither.
here because it's a larger area too, and we can get surrounded. So let's just stick to our plan.
Stick to our plan.
Let's
Kate, hold on one sec. Cade, what did you roll for the perception check for the wolves?
I thought you rolled their perception check.
Oh, that's right, I did.
Yeah.
So actually, 2 of the wolves are like, you know, they're kind of on lock with their paw cocked back and their snouts at the ground. Like they're aiming at the mine entrance, but they're not going in. But you could tell that like they have picked up the scent of the blood.
Yeah.
And they like a couple of them have like that low growl, like where they're just like
yeah.
Go fucking eat them.
Let's go around the back, boys.
Let's do it.
I follow Cade.
So if you're going to climb at this point, you guys get the climbing gear out.
Yep.
What are you telling the wolves to do? Just stay here?
Would they actually be able to follow us? Is it possible for them?
No. I mean, not to that. There's no path. You guys are literally getting out climbing here to climb this.
I thought there was another path up.
There is, but there's nothing that connects where you're at to the upper level.
All right.
Yeah, because you were in the devil cat form and you were
climbing
up with that thing.
Wolves don't have the same.
They don't have the same. It's not the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the cat does.
I mean, you could command one of the wolves to try to climb, but you're pretty sure that they don't have that ability.
No, I understand. So
can you keep them by the mouth, and then once we get in there, call them inside?
No, they have to hear me. So you know what I could do? I could just send them in and tell them to go wreck shop while we go up. They'll be the distraction. As we go up and do our thing. What do you think?
Use them as bait, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
Sorry, guys. Thanks for your
how
help.
long? How long would it take us to get up there, Bill?
Like 10
I know
minutes.
how the 10 minutes. Okay, so I give the instructions to the wolves. Wait, approximately that time, even though they don't really understand time, I guess. But I say wait a little bit, and then go in and kill everything in there that's not us.
They acknowledge your commands.
And we start ascending.
Shall we
Okay.
climb, brothers?
All right. So, you will each make that athletics check. With your climbing gear, kind of helps you
Yeah.
because it's still raining, right? So you're trying to like climb a mountain and wet rocks and stuff.
Can I make an amendment real quick
Yeah.
for my instructions for the wolves? I tell them kill any of the anything in there that smelled like the beast with the cape, like the scent. If there's anything else in there, leave it.
Okay. Okay, so you begin climbing up.
23.
Like I said, the climbing gear helps cancel out the disadvantageous situation that you would be in climbing in this storm.
Yes.
So that it's kind of windy, the rain's beating down on you guys. But you're pretty firm. So go ahead and make your athletics checks.
23.
I must be drunk.
Shao, you're not going to take damage, but the first leg of this journey, you get like 15 feet up and then you slip and kind of slide back down, but you grab yourself on the rope, so you don't take any damage.
You clearly need more drink, brother.
You're tied off. Cade, what do you do?
I got a 19.
Okay, so Cho and Cade, you guys get up. Shao, give me one more check. Cho and Cade, each one of you guys make a perception check.
13.
24. And we have dark vision too, so
Okay.
if that
I got another 7. Wow, bad luck.
You are struggling to get up as the storm is raging, but also, Shao, you make a perception check.
A perception check.
With my
comes
proficiency
another rock.
in acrobatics, can I help Shao get up the mountain?
No. He'll make it up the next roll because you guys are both up there, so you'll just pull him
I
up.
can pull him
And there
up.
won't be any roll.
I'm just getting 7s. It must be my lucky day.
So here's what happens. You both, now that you're up there, you're literally just pulling him up. He's like doom, 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 just dragging along the mountain. But you guys get up to that higher elevation. Cade and Cho, you see that the thin path that leads around to the mouth of the upper elevation kind of cave entrance. It's kind of treacherous and wet, but you feel like if you are careful, you can make it around to the cave entrance.
This entrance is the 3x3 one, right? Approximately. You're muted, Cade.
So this should be the big one, and then up above that little trail that takes us to the 3x3.
Yep.
So is this the one we wanted to cave in, or did we want to cave in the main entrance, the big entrance down below?
I think we want to cave in this one and then go in by the 3x3.
And then go in by the 3x3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
I tell my brothers just to get away and start on the main trail, but not fully down it. And then
Let me just double
Go ahead.
check. What is
Yeah,
your
yeah.
procedure? Because you guys have just gotten up this elevation on this trail.
yeah.
Are you trying to stealth to do
entrance?
where you're going to? Like, what's your?
Yeah, I think we should stay stealth. I don't want to draw attention to us already. I'm already drunk and hitting things. I'm
Yeah.
sure there's
Don't-
noises, but
Don't worry too much about the stealth because I'm about to make us on stealthy here in a second.
okay.
Okay, so
Just get
no
on
one's
the path,
moving from
get
where
out of
you're
the
at.
way.
You guys are
Just-
staying put.
I want my brothers to start getting on the path and getting out of. Well, you know what? Maybe not. Stay on the open plateau because we might have a little bit of a tumble here. All right.
Okay, so you guys are
Hold
all
on to
three of
your
you are in the
ropes.
same spot.
Yeah.
Cade, what do you do?
Let me look at my spell real quick. so I can tell them. Let's see. I told them to stay. What's the area of the plateau, please?
So this plateau isn't as big as the original mining operation because the white furs don't have carts and other shit like that. Like they just climb and they go in. So you've got a 5-foot ledge in front of the entrance to this larger fissure that goes into the cave.
All right. Yeah, I actually do get up on the ledge because you guys got to stay 15 feet outside what I'm about to do. Like make it up maybe 20 feet starting. I'm gonna unleash and then I gotta jam. And then there's probably gonna be a rock coming down, so it's gonna get hairy here, guys.
Okay, so I need to know what people are doing.
I'm hanging in there and waiting for Cade to give us the go to do whatever we need to do.
Just go.
All right.
Yeah, I move along the trail going towards the smaller entrance, 15 to 20 feet out of range of the plateau.
Same.
Okay, so stealth.
Yeah.
So Cho and Shao make a stealth.
All right.
23.
Hold on too. Make sure
Yes.
you hold on.
Yeah, I'm wrapping my rope around my wrist so that I have extra hold.
Yeah. Secure yourself with climbing gear.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything. I got an 8.
Okay, all right.
Stay close to me, brother.
So Cho and Shao are going along. Cade, your turn.
I get up to the cave entrance. Kind of shake it off.
Make a perception check.
Yep. 25.
Okay, 10 feet into the cave entrance, you see one white fur.
Cool. I bring my hands close, and then it starts. You start hearing a crackling and a glow, and it's like shaking, and then
the white fur looks at you. It turns and looks at you just as you deliver the spell. All right, what's the spell?
Thunderwave.
Ooh, so he has to make.
If he's within 15 feet.
Yeah,
con save 15.
Suck on that, buddy.
He definitely fails. I rolled a
Thunderous force sweeps out from you.
All right, so he takes 2d8 damage, right?
Yeah. Yes,
and he's pushed 10 feet back into the cave.
Yeah. Eight thunder damage.
Okay, so it blows him back. He goes 10 feet back into the cave. There's a bunch of loose rock that also just like a rock, dirt, sand that just kind of push into the cave further.
Yeah.
But most audibly is the thunderous boom that is audible out to 300 feet.
Yep.
So in the context of the storm that you're currently experiencing, your comrades at the southern camp would have no idea that this is any different from just a normal crack of thunder.
Yeah.
But your brothers, who are only like 30 feet away, they hear this shit loud and clear. Like y'all hear like the thunder just hit right behind you, and you're like, oh damn, there's no lightning, but you heard this, right? You hear rocks and stuff. All right, so Cade, now it's time for initiative.
Yep.
Cue the Conan battle music. No, wouldn't that be awesome?
I wish I knew what that sounded like.
All right. Wow.
I would need you to watch.
Not rolling
Conan.
well for the white furs. All right,
Good.
you guys will also be rolling initiative because even though you're 30 feet away, I'm assuming that you're going to engage in this. Cade, what is your initiative roll?
16.
Okay. Shao and Cho.
Shao's got a.
Shao's got an 8.
I got an 8.
17.
My roll, those 220s just screwed me up, dude. That's
You
it.
used it up,
You
bro.
rolled too good, too fast. You got to pace
Damn it.
yourself. Pace yourself.
Not enough yak juice.
That could be it. Who knows?
I need some more drink.
Okay, so Cho, you're technically up first. You don't see what's going on. You don't see your brother. You do see 30 feet away the mouth of the cave. And you know that's where your brother is. So what would you do for your round?
Move to my brother's side with my bow in hand.
Okay, you can move 30 feet. That's your move. You still have an action and a bonus action. You see 20 feet into the cave, past your brother, is a white fur who's like knocked up against the ground, but getting up.
Face shot.
Go ahead. Make that roll, son.
Yeah, dude.
22.
That's a hit. What's my damage?
So, don't you get the sneak attack if they haven't taken initiative order yet?
Right.
Yes.
If I attack before anyone
Yes.
else has.
So actually, you should roll a second time to hit just to see if you roll a crit. But either way, it's going to be a crit because you're an assassin. So.
No, that was a 3 plus 6.
Okay. So you hit, and it is a crit, and you're now going to do critical hit damage. So you're going to have 8 for your longbow plus an extra D8.
Okay. So I've got my first roll was a 7.
Okay, so that's 15. Plus your 3 for dex is
My 3d6.
18.
5 on the 3d6.
Okay.
What?
Times 2 is 10, so 28 damage. You fire, like, Cade, you see this arrow fly past your shoulder and just hit the white fur, like in its chest, and blood spurts out like it's a deep shot. Now this brings us to Cade.
Is it still up? Is it
Yeah, I mean, it's, yeah.
Okay.
We probably got a ways to go with this guy.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna run up 10 feet and cast. I have the turtle shell out now, and I cast poison spray. Con 15.
Ooh, another con roll. Look at you with these crafty spells. This one he makes.
Then he takes nothing.
Okay,
Nothing
his turn.
happens.
He launches himself at you and claws, which is probably going to be a miss. That's a 14.
Miss.
Okay, he goes past you to Cho and claws. You will get a attack of opportunity. Oh, you don't have any weapons out.
I don't think I do.
Yeah, so no attack of opportunity for you. Cho, he does a 17 hit.
That's it.
Okay. You are going to take 15 from the claw attack.
Ouch.
Damn.
All right, which brings us now to Brother Shao.
Brother Shao, how far am I away from? No, well, so that thing actually moved closer to the entrance of the cave, right?
Yes, it's closer to Cho. So you could get to the entrance of the cave within 30 feet, which is your normal move.
Okay.
And then you can do your attack and bonus action if you want.
Absolutely. Okay, so I go ahead and attack, and then I'm going to say stunning strike on top of that.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to attack with my staff.
Get him.
Isn't your move like 40?
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah. Okay. My, bear with me here. My computer is going bananas.
Computer needs a drink.
So your attack roll, go ahead.
Oh, attack rolls an 11. I'm probably gonna miss on that one, right?
Total of 11?
Yeah.
Yeah, you miss.
Yeah. And then as a bonus action, can I use my stunning flurry of blows?
Yeah, unarmed strike. Go ahead.
Unarmed strike. All right, give me a second here. Unarmed strike. I'm trying to reacclimate myself on how to use this. Unarmed strike. Let's see.
Oh man. So just so I know for future, I didn't do it this last time, but when I see the creature coming to hit me with that claw, could I have done my uncanny dodge in that moment?
Yes.
It says when an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to half the attack.
Yep. That's fine. So you only take 8.
Oh, cool. That helps.
Yeah, unarmed strike is 11 also. I'm not doing too good here,
Oh my
guys.
God.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to the top. Cho, you're up. This thing is right up on you, so you cannot use your bow
Put my
unless you
bow
want to
back.
give him an attack of opportunity.
Put my bow back around my back. It's hanging over me. Grab my sword.
You want to drop your bow and grab your sword? I'll let you do
To
that.
drop it. You
I have to drop it. I can't wrap it around my back.
No, that would be your action.
Okay, I'll drop it. Grab my sword. It's a 15. What is the? I don't remember the weapons that we got down in the village. I don't know what their pluses, what their damages were, or anything. What their qualities were.
Standard. So that's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
So 6.
Okay. Okay. All right, Cade, you're up.
I'd like to use my secondary action to disengage,
You may do that.
to move back out of the way.
You disengage.
Didn't I give you my scimitar a long time ago?
I don't
I don't have it anymore.
I don't remember.
That was when we first landed on the other
Yeah,
island, I think.
So
Yeah.
the only thing I got, you know what? I'm gonna run it behind him and poison spray him again. Con save.
What's the range of that?
10 foot.
Am I out of the way, Bill, with my disengage?
Yes,
It
he has
only,
a
it
17.
only affects one
He makes
thing.
it.
God dang. Okay.
All right, he turns and attacks Cade with the first claw. That's probably going to be a miss, 12. He
Miss.
attacks Brother Shao with the second claw. That is also a miss. And he howls. Not like a wolf,
Damn it.
but more like
Ah!
a wounded bear. Like
Can
Yeah.
could I before he does that, when he's in combat, is there any way I can use a key point and do no, that wouldn't work, huh?
it's your turn, so you can do.
So as he's trying to build this bellow to do that, can I step to the wind on him and then just stunning strike him to see if I can stop him from doing that?
Yeah, it's not going to stop the bellow though,
Okay.
because that's a free action. It's like if you were like just said a word.
Hey
like,
guys.
Yeah.
Is there any way we can trap him where we are, so that nothing else can come in with us at this moment?
Well, I mean, you guys are you're kind of like
We're
encircling him
blocking,
at the
yeah.
mouth of the cave. Like you're just inside the cave, and all 3 of you are kind of like trying to attack him, and he's, he's bobbing and weaving, trying
All
to
right.
attack you.
I'll go ahead and just start wailing on this guy.
God, I wish we had
Just hit him.
dynamite.
Just hit him.
All right, let's see. Come on, boy. This thing is taking for this website's. Oh my God, what is going on here? 11 on that, and then unarmed strike.
You got some real dice?
Yeah, use real
I'm gonna
dice.
have to. Yeah, give me a second here, because this thing is like
I don't use that.
11's
generator
over and
shit.
over and over again. This is crazy.
Yeah, stop that.
Yeah, another 11.
I
I
can't
don't know.
play with them generators.
I got 11s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I got 11s. So I can't do nothing.
Back to you.
Well, you
Brother
attack,
Joe.
and then you can still do a flurry of blows, so you can keep attacking, right? If you got the key points.
I got
So
to keep
you've tried to do stunning strike twice now.
twice. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Brother Cho, top the order.
All right, sword at him. That is a 19.
That's a
There you
hit.
go. There you
What's
go.
the damage?
Damage is 10.
All right. Brother Cade.
And disengage.
So,
Bill, if I don't tell you, every time I attack, I'm using my disengage just
Okay.
to get out of the way.
God damn it. Poison spray. On save.
This one he fails. What's the damage?
2d12.
Come on, get him.
10.
Okay. Give me a second.
Yep.
Okay, he takes 10 poison damage, which is ouchie. All right, he is going to attack
wait.
you.
I'm going to wild shape as a bonus action. Direwolf.
Okay. He's going to attack you.
Mm-hmm.
17.
Let me look at that. I'm pretty sure it's a hit.
Yeah.
That's a hit.
All right, so you're going to take 17 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then he attacks Cho. Ooh, 23.
I will uncanny dodge.
That's a good move because that would have been 18, so you only take 9.
If it's a push, does it go to the creature or does it go to the player? Like say their hit is a 15 and your AC is a 15.
It hits.
Who that
It
hits?
Okay, it hits.
Okay. The white fur is, I mean, you know that the white fur is wounded, but it doesn't seem to show any sign of weakness or fatigue. Like it is full on raged.
Yeah.
All right, so Shao, up to you.
All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and attack this guy because I need to take him out for the brothers.
Are we
Alright.
doing stunning strike?
Yes. So I just rolled a 17 plus 7. That's a 24.
That's a hit.
Okay, so I need these 6s.
So you're gonna minus off the
Yes, sir. Yes,
key.
Yep, another one. So that's 3 total.
Nice.
3 there. So I got a.
So he needs to make a con save
Correct.
or be stunned.
D14. DC 14.
I have a 19. I rolled a 16. So you hit him and you know that you disrupted his chi, but this beast seems to be, so desperate in its effort to survive that it kind of fights past and muscles through.
Okay.
How much damage do you do?
I did 8 from my
Okay.
staff, and then can I do flurry of blows on top
Yeah,
of that?
you have your second attack. Go ahead.
Yeah. And that is also a regular 20. on
Okay,
that.
that's a hit.
And then a 6 plus 4, that's 10 on that hit.
Okay. You guys you're just starting to wear this thing down. Like as you hit it and you follow it up with your hit, like you could see that it's very wounded, but it does not seem to be backing away. Show, back to you.
Attack it again.
Okay.
17.
That's a hit.
10 damage.
You can add in your sneak attack bonus because you are with your brother, you are flanking him.
Yes. I love the flank position. 10 on the 3 on the 3d6.
Okay, so what's the total?
What is that equal? Shit. I have to look at the rules.
Oh, never mind, I got it.
How
All right,
does
so okay, which brings us to he's very wounded, which brings us to Cade.
Let's see here. I attack. Go for a bite, which is at advantage because pack tactics. It's not great for advantage. That's only 13.
Miss. You snap and he kind of like ducks away a little bit and then he swats down at you. His first claw attack. Whoa.
I don't like that.
That's a nat 20, buddy.
Ouch.
That's gonna hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So that is Plus 29, 32.
I get knocked out of wolf shape and back into Cade and take damage. So I took. You said how much damage?
32.
32, so 20. So I take 12 as Cade.
Second attack against Cho is a 17 to hit.
That's a hit.
And that is
My
going
uncanny.
to be 16. So you're going to uncanny.
8.
Okay, you take 8.
Oh, I forgot. I should have been making con saves for concentration on the wolves.
It's okay. We'll find out narratively what happens down there anyway.
Gotcha.
All right, so this brings us to Brother Shao. You see Cade get just jacked by this claw, and he goes from dire wolf back into himself as he slumps up against the wall.
I think, well, I'm going to go into frenzy mode here, boys. I'm going to go ahead and just go all out on this guy, see if I can take him out. So I'm going to do his normal attack. Let's see here. 21.
That's a hit.
Okay, and then a D8. 11 for that hit. And then, for that damage, I mean. And then flurry of blows on that one. That is a 17. Does that hit?
That's a hit.
Okay. And that one takes an additional 8.
Okay.
Man, this thing is still up, huh?
I know.
Jeez.
All right. This brings us back to the top of the order, Brother Cho.
Okay, before I make my move, is there this beast is considerably taller than me, I imagine. So are there any rocks, ledges, anything inside this mouth that I can use to kind of vault off of and jump on his back and start stabbing him in the throat?
You want to make an acrobatics check and then make your attack.
Yep.
Yep. You can use your movement to do the acrobatics check.
That's a 22.
Okay, so you get behind him, and now using that leverage and your brother Cho on the opposite end gives you viability for a sneak attack.
Okay, so that's a 19.
Hit?
I roll for advantage on that, right?
No.
No. Okay.
So you're gonna roll your normal damage, but add in your sneak attack damage.
Gotcha.
And this thing is just covered in blood. Like, you guys have hit it so many times. It's
18
total.
total. Yeah.
6. Its blood is staining the white fur, right? Cade, are you unconscious?
No, just get knocked out of direwolf.
Okay. It is your turn, Cade.
Is there room enough to get up to it?
Yes.
I get up and I cast Poison Spray again. Con save. 15.
Okay. It succeeds. 16 total. This brings us to the white fur. It basically takes both of its claws and it is going to grapple Cho. So Cho, you're going to make an athletics roll and tell me what the result is.
Are athletics and acrobatics interchangeable?
No, not in this case.
Oh, okay. 18.
Okay. It grapples you and throws you to the ground, so you are prone. But that is its move. Brings us to Shao.
As I see that action happen, I'm going. How close am I to this guy? Am I still in the?
You're right there. Yeah, you're
Right
in
there?
the thick of it.
Okay. Well, then I'm just going to continue to attack it because I think. Let's see. Okay, 25 on that one. It
Hit.
takes 12 points from the quarterstaff, and then Now I have a question. So as a bonus action, I could do Flurry of Blows. Does that include me being able to use a key point and then go to patient defense? So I can protect whoever needs to get protected if I'm in defensive mode? Does that work that way?
It's only.
Or is that on me? It's only on me?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just gives them disadvantage on attacking you if you're in patient defense.
Okay. Nat 20 on the Flurry of Blows.
Yes.
And then that's a 6d6. Okay. An additional 7 points.
Okay.
Tell me he's dead.
As you see, the thing, grab your brother and pull him off his back and throw him to the ground. You come up, hit him with your staff, and then follow up with, how do you want to end this? Fist, elbow, kick?
Well, the staff would be two-handed, so I would crack him over the head, and as his head is going down, I just come up with the knee right to the face or in the jawline.
You jump. You're like through the air. Your knee smashes this thing's face, and you hear bone crack, and it sounds like a tree falling. It just slams to the cave wall and slumps to the ground. And for a moment, all you hear is the hard rain outside of the cave. And you guys are in the mouth of this cave. And you just hear, the occasional crackle of lightning, thunder, So this thing is not getting up.
I immediately run over to Cho to make sure that he's okay, because he's the one that took the most brunt of this
No, I'm okay.
creature.
I am all right, brother. But I'm going to go in for the throat slit. Definite kill.
Okay.
Make sure that he's dead.
You do. There's no reaction. I mean,
No,
the body twitches, but you kill the beast. Its white fur is matted and it's just stained with blood.
Brothers, is there any way we can collapse this entrance and traverse to the smaller hole?
That's what I was trying to do, but it didn't work. I can try again.
Let's exit out, because I hear that cry. It's gonna bring a whole bunch of these guys to us.
Agreed.
So.
Agreed. Let's. Can that thing that you used, Brother Cade, when you sent the shockwave, can you point that at the ceiling on our way out?
It's just more of a area effect around myself. It's not that's how it works.
You guys should each make a perception check.
17.
1, 2, 4.
I have a 14.
All right, 17 and 24. You get a whiff of something, and it's not. It's kind of a ripe animal smell, and it's not coming from the freshly killed corpse next to you. It comes from further in the cave.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear a low growling, but it seems to be far deeper into the cave.
Yeah.
Sounds
like my
your dark vision's still active, right? So you could see that the cave goes in another 40 feet and then kind of naturally splits off. There's two sort of fissures. One goes left and one goes right.
Yeah. Does it sound like my wolves?
No, it doesn't sound like your wolves. It sounds like a deeper sound. You're as a person, familiar with animals.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like this is more like the sound of a bear than it is like a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time to exit.
I could try and collapse it one more time, and then we can go up. If not, then should we just go through here?
Yeah, it's not that many options.
Yeah. Take you guys the same positions before outside, and then I'll try and collapse it one more time.
Okay. You do
Is
thunder.
Is it still raining outside?
Yes.
Okay.
You do thunder wave.
Mm-hmm.
It blows the corpse and a bunch of loose stones and rocks further back into the cave. Immediately after the thunderous sound is made, you hear two distinct deep howls, very similar in tone to the howl that this white fur made when you guys were fighting it.
Yeah. Yeah. they're fighting
From
the
within
wolves.
the cave.
Yeah, they're fighting the wolves.
All right.
So
What do you guys
I
do
failed.
now?
I failed with my collapsing.
Yeah, it did not collapse the cave.
All right. Let's just go.
Up to the other entrance or up through here?
No, up.
Yeah, let's go up.
Okay.
Imagine fighting two of these things at once.
You
No,
guys get the
I don't
climbing
wanna-
gear and you throw the grappling hooks up. Who has the highest athletics roll?
Probably. I got 4.
I got +3.
Okay. So you get the hook set, you start climbing. Each one of you make an athletics check.
15.
15.
19.
Okay. All three of you make it. You get up and you are now at an upper level peak. This again has like a 3-foot wide ledge. Like even these big creatures couldn't easily walk. They would have to kind of like climb and walk along this ledge. But the ledge leads around, and you figure you're based on your original recon, Cade. You're probably gonna have to traverse the ledge for about 90 feet
Yeah.
until you get to the smaller entrance.
Yeah. Okay.
All three of you make perception checks.
16.
Oh, that was bad. 10.
16.
Okay, Shao and Cho, as you guys are like looking at the ledge, the rain's coming down, you're pulling up. Well, actually, are you pulling up your climbing gear? Because you'd have to climb back down, right?
Yeah.
So do you just leave it set?
Yeah, we have to.
Okay. So you're looking around the ledge. Sho and Shao, you just kind of glance down. You see 2 white furs climbing up the rock, like bare hand climbing up the rock towards you guys.
Shit.
I yell at Cade and tell him what's going on.
Okay.
Cade, you look over the ledge and you see 2 of them. They're climbing. Now their climbing speed is not like, flying. They're not like devil cats, but they're competent climbers. So you feel like they will be where you guys are within probably 30 seconds.
Right.
Do we have any way of, I guess the effect I'm looking for is if I had a mirror and a sunlight, I would try to shine light in their eyes so that they would lose what they're trying to do. But I don't have any of that equipment.
Well,
we don't have a sun.
The ability to blind them would be valuable with some kind of bright light.
Yeah.
Now, see, if you weren't shipwrecked, you would have had flash grenades in your ninja kit.
Right.
God damn it.
I lost everything.
So,
build.
so you guys see these suckers climbing towards you. You know that based on what, like I said, what Cade's recon was, is that you're about 90 feet along this ledge to get to the small entrance.
I yell at Cade again and I say, can we create an avalanche or some sort of like earth to fall on top of these things can we grab?
And is their recovery
'cause
speed faster than our speed to get to the mouth or to the 3-foot hole? Will
So-
they get to us faster than we can get to that hole?
I'll say that they're climbing at a rate that would get them there in 30 seconds. So I'm going to say 5. You have 5 rounds. You could move. You could get to where you need to go in 6 rounds. So you could be at the mouth of the little fissure by the time they get up to the ledge that you're on, and then they would still have to chase you.
Okay.
Let's roll.
Yeah.
So you guys start moving. You leave the climbing gear. You start moving along the ledge very carefully. I'm not going to make you make an acrobatics or athletics check because you're going slowly, right? You're not running.
Correct.
No.
So you take your time, you get to the fissure, and you see this smaller entrance, and you feel like if you got down on your hands and knees, you can crawl into this small cave entrance
Yeah.
as humans.
Yeah. Which they
Sure.
can also do.
Joe should go first because you can stealth. You got the
Yeah.
highest stealth.
So here's the thing. This is a small tunnel. It's like 3 feet tall by 3 feet wide. So it's single file. So who's going first? I need to know.
I will.
Right. Show
question,
your
how close
first.
are they?
They're by the time you guys get to the fissure, they have now made it up to the ledge, and you see that they're coming towards you. They're trying to move along the wedge.
How far is that distance?
Around 90 feet.
Like can I
Cho, you go in. Shao, you're going next.
I have my dagger in my mouth also.
Okay, so Cho goes in, Shao goes in, Cade, you're last. They're about 30 feet closer now. So they're 60 feet away.
Can I use mold earth to try and like make them lose their footing and make at least one of them like fall off on like the ledge?
Would be happy to allow that once I check to see if you can affect hard rock with that. Dirt or stone, son of a gun.
Yes.
You have a 30-foot range, and it affects a 5-foot cube. So it's not loose earth, so you can't just excavate it.
No.
If the dirt or stone you target is on the ground, you can cause it to become difficult terrain. Okay, I will let you make it difficult terrain. So you will slow them down. You're not going to stop them.
Yeah, I was just trying to make one fall.
You know what? I'll let you go ahead. I'll let you go ahead and do that. I'm going to make them make dex saves. If either of them radically fail, no, neither one of them do. 18 and 14.
It was worth a try.
But you slow them down, right? They have to like stop and figure out a way to climb around it. So you go in last, right?
Yep.
All right. So Point Man Cho, you're crawling, right? Dagger in mouth. You're crawling, and it's a ways. You've crawled like 60 feet, right? And you're using you're using your dark vision, and you come to this point where there's like a little bit of an opening, and it kind of opens up to a point where it's about 6 feet tall now and about 5 feet wide. So this little fissure opens up into a larger tunnel, and you can actually stand.
Okay. Look around to see if there's somewhere where I can hide while the brothers are coming through the tunnel.
There is no turnoffs or fissures or anything. I mean, there's like a little rocky outcropping here and there, so you kind of like press yourself up against the wall. Shortly thereafter, Shao, you come through, and last Cade, you come through. You guys find yourselves again in this, slightly larger tunnel, but definitely not big enough where those creatures could get in.
Can I use mold earth to block this? Is there like any loose earth that I can start just like jamming this hole?
Yes, you can make it difficult terrain.
I can't.
None of it's loose.
Okay.
This is rock. Like you were in the mountain. Make perception checks, actually.
Yeah.
13.
12.
So you don't
14,
smell the funky animal ripe, body odor musk that you smelled in the larger cave.
Yeah.
This smells very, very much like you're in a cave. It has kind of a damp, rocky dirt kind of smell to it. Did anybody get over a 15?
I got a 14.
Okay. So that's about it. You don't really hear anything other than, the distant sound of the rain, and you hear the aggravated growling and howling of the two beasts way back down the little tunnel.
Yeah.
You could see though, because it's at the edge of your dark vision, like they can't get in. You could tell that they're like at the mouth of the entrance and they're howling in frustration.
Okay.
So it looks like the tunnel that you're in continues for well past your dark vision.
But it's gotten bigger, right?
It's gotten bigger so that you guys could it's still single file, but it's like 6 feet tall. So you can.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, Cho.
What's the distance from the 6 foot area where we are and the mouth?
60.
I dropped my longbow. Never mind. Anybody have a bow?
Nope.
Okay,
I
so
mean, I have darts.
I wanted to
but
shoot him in the face. Sorry.
I get it. I get it. Trust me,
you
I get it.
you feel like this tunnel, like I said, it goes past your dark vision, so it goes forward for at least another 60 feet.
We got to
Shall we?
press on.
Okay, Shao, time for you to make a dexterity save.
Jesus. And what is that?
the area that we're in right now, Bill, is all stone. There's no loose gravel or anything like that, right? It's solid as we transfer.
Yeah, it seems like solid rock.
Okay, cool.
17.
17 is a success, so you will only take half of the damage. You take 6.
Please.
What kind of damage is it?
So as you are walking, you trip over something that you didn't notice. You jump back just in time as a series of 3 very sharp spiked rods
Oh my
shoot
God.
out of the wall. They kind of cut across you, but do not pierce you and skewer you as they probably would have if you had failed.
I turn back. Booby traps.
It's your specialty, brother.
You're the ninja.
Yes. I'll be much more cautious. We're in a mountain. I didn't think there's booby traps in here.
Yeah,
Coming out of
I
a
didn't
solid
either.
piece of stone. Yeah. It's,
Further up ahead, you see that about 30 feet up ahead from where you are now have arrived by this booby trap spot. Yeah, about 30 feet. You see that this cave splits off in 2 directions. The left seems to go not just to the left, but also kind of up, almost like a ramp. And the right seems to go down. And you notice that actually, I don't know if you would notice this, but so you get to this point. What do you do?
Up or down, brothers.
one question before I make a statement. How from the entrance of the cave that we just went in, how much more elevation did we have above us to get to the pinnacle point or whatever?
Oh, like another 120 feet.
So we have that much from the inside up
Yeah.
to travel. Okay.
Yeah, approximately.
Okay. Just
So-
making sure.
Now, from where we are, it looks like the white furs in present state cannot come up here, right?
Oh yeah, no.
Okay, so maybe we should go up first since they can't go up there anyway and see what's going on, and
That's
then
fine.
go work our way back.
Okay.
Lead the
But
way.
I'm going to proceed with caution, using stealth and detecting traps.
Okay.
You don't want to just
You since you were on point, go ahead and make a perception check.
16.
All right. So you see that the incline going up this, this left path that kind of goes up is going to curve around, and you don't see any traps, but you notice something that there's like in one of the walls, the interior walls is like a vein of ore, not just rock, like a metallic ore.
Does it look like it's just a natural part of what's
Yes.
been dug out? Okay. I pointed out to the fellas.
Okay. As you guys look closer, you are fairly certain, like you actually go up and kind of like brush it off. It looks like silver. Looks like a vein of silver.
Looks like we're in the right place.
Now we just need to vacate the premises of our unwelcome people.
That's right.
This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, brothers.
Here.
At least we're here together.
Indeed. But let's not leave Mother alone too long.
So we're continuing up.
Continuing up,
How's
yeah.
pursuit?
Okay. Brother Joe.
With caution.
You guys go up, okay? And it's very slowly, it kind of circles around. You know what I mean? So it's like a spiraling tunnel that's going up.
Mhm.
As I lose sight of the trail as it curves, I approach each corner with extreme caution and just kind of peer, and then when I see that we can continue, I continue.
Okay.
Every time I get to a curve.
You get to a point where you feel like you've been going up for quite a ways. And make one more perception check for me.
Can I do a perception check on the way that this tunnel is made, if it's humanly made or is it natural?
I would let you guys have survival check on that.
Okay.
Well,
I got a 21.
Okay.
I have a +6.
This looks like it was a natural formation or fissure that perhaps was over time like smoothed and carved out to be a little easier to navigate. Like there are areas of the rock where it's kind of, you know, kind of chopped and scraped away to be a little flatter, and then it kind of proceeds up in this incline.
My perception was a 19.
Okay. You get to kind of what you feel is like the pinnacle of this thing, and you see it kind of dead ends, but it's not like a solid rock wall. Like it dead ends at this wooden kind of door, but it doesn't look like a well-built door. It looks like basically if you took a tabletop and leaned it up against a hole. You know what I mean? Like it's just like wood that's been bound together.
And is it propped? Is it propped, or is it part of the whatever it is?
No, it looks like it's on the other side of this hole. So i.e. like it opens into something.
Is it on hinges?
It's not.
Oh.
And it's not even nailed together. It's like tied together with like vine.
Shoddy.
I'll check around the whole entryway and see if there's any traps or anything set up to where if I try to move this, if I'll get a dart or something.
Okay, make an investigation check.
15.
Okay. You actually find one of the twine pieces that looks like it's binding the wood together to create a door. Actually seems to go inside to something. You feel like you have found perhaps some kind of tripwire sort of trap, primitive, but something that would be triggered if you move this door and this vine got pulled.
Can I, with my dagger, cut the vine?
Yes.
And just wait and see if anything happens.
You hear nothing. You do hear, well, actually, I would say that you guys, you kind of smell fresh air a little bit beyond this door, and you kind of hear the rain and the storm from outside.
Okay. I'm going to put my hand on the barricade and see if I can. I'm not going to shove it open or anything. I'm just going to see if it has any play. Does it rock at all? It's movable?
Yep.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick it and then use a disengage action to dash away from the entry.
Okay. Cade?
I'll go after he's done with his action.
Okay. You kick it, it falls down. It opens up into some kind of cavern.
But nothing extracurricular happens.
Nothing happens to you. There's no significant light in this cavern. There's a little bit of what you assume to be moonlight, maybe. But let me describe what you see with your dark vision. Okay, so this cavern looks like it's the initial chamber that you're in looks like it's about 20 feet deep by about 15 feet wide, and you're at the back end of this room, right, looking out into it. On the ceiling, this is all rock, this is all cave, right? But on the ceiling, all on the opposite end of where you guys are, is like a fissure, not even big enough for you to get through, right? But just like a crack, and there's a little bit of moonlight coming through there, and there's also rainwater dripping through there, and you hear it dripping into this kind of rocky pool. that's on the opposite wall of where you are.
Okay, I got a question.
There's a tunnel at the opposite end of this, near this pool, that kind of hooks around to the right. But this room, this cavernous room, has been turned into what looks like someone's habitat. You see a collection of wood that has been sort of roughly assembled into a bed with furs on it. You see a small kind of rocky dugout that looks like it's maybe where a fire would be lit. And there's very primitive kind of stone cooking supplies. You see dried meat and dried fish hanging from this like wooden post that's kind of like propped between two rocks.
Is it fresh?
Fresh enough, like
Fresh-ish.
Yeah, within the last few days, probably. So that's what you kind of initially see. Yes, Cade.
So am I still concentrating on conjure animals? Or is it gone? Like, so, okay, so they're still alive then. That's what I'm trying to assess from this spell. Because if they've been killed, then I would no longer be concentrating.
No, I would say they're still alive.
Okay. Just wanted to know that. Let's check it out. Is there like anything to light a torch in here by chance, or a lantern?
Well, there is wood. There's dried wood that looks like it's been split and it's stacked next to the small fireplace / cooking pit.
Are there any lanterns by chance?
No. It looks like there's like a collection of rocks where maybe a torch could be set.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any chests or personal effects other than the cooking supplies and the bedding?
You guys can go ahead and make investigation checks if you want.
I would suggest my brother Shao, who doesn't have dark vision, like maybe get a torch going for himself.
19 on the investigation after I light up a torch.
Okay.
What's my investigation?
So
Nat 20.
19.
So you guys, you know, you basically light up a torch, right? You notice that the torch, the smoke draws out towards that little fissure where some of the fresh air and the moonlight and the water is dripping in. And with the torchlight and your dark vision collectively, you guys explore the rest of the cavern. You start looking in this initial room, other than, like I said, what seems to be a basic camp inside of a cave. There isn't anything really of value that you see, but as you go around the little curve, you notice that there's a smaller room, effectively, not a room, but like another kind of little chamber cavern that's attached to this larger one. And in that, you notice some kind of peculiar things. There's a wooden chair that's intact, like the kind of chair that would have been made in like a town, right? By a furniture maker. It seems very old. It's kind of weathered and cracked. You know how like when wood gets swollen from dampness and stuff, but it still seems to be firm and intact. You don't see a table, but you do see on this chair, as if it were maybe used as sort of a stand or a table, you see a book, a small leather-bound book, and you see an inkwell and a quill. The inkwell is empty. It looks like it's dried out, like long ago dried out. You also notice next to the chair that there is a chest, like a medium-sized chest. And there's no lock on the chest.
I'll check it for traps.
Okay, please do.
Are we all there? Are we all
Yeah.
there, or just okay? Just
Yeah.
okay. All right.
14.
I'll go ahead and grab that book and open it up and see if I can make sense of what it, if I can
Make
even
a con
read it.
save.
Okay. You don't find any traps. So Shao, you grab the book. Show you're gonna open up the chest. Okay, so
yeah.
let me split this. So Shao, you're I don't know, you set the torch down, right? So that you can open the book.
Well, how big is the book? If it's a small book, right?
Yeah, but
I'll hold it. I'll hold the
right,
torch.
like
for him.
you can't hold a torch and page through a book with one hand. So
Okay, all right.
I'll hold it.
Somebody's holding it. Right. So you basically are looking at this book. The book looks like it's first of all, it's dusty. Like this area is dusty.
Okay.
You open the book and like dust. And it's written in a language that you don't understand, but you've seen this writing before. You've seen this writing in some of the Iraqi businesses in town, in the village. So you recognize it as Iraqi writing. And it seems to be a journal, maybe. It's definitely, in a quality of penmanship that would indicate like a literate person, or maybe even like a noble or a merchant, someone who knows how to write. The penmanship has a certain quality to it. So you recognize that this seems to be something written a while ago in Iraqi. In the chest, you find 3 sets of clothing that seem to be pretty well preserved. They kind of look more like the clothing, again, that you would see the Iraqi people wearing. Very nice quality. The tailoring, like the work of the clothing, is nice quality. Again, seeming to indicate perhaps some degree of wealth or extravagance. And at the bottom of the chest, you also find a ring with a symbol on it. It looks like some kind of signet.
Okay, I will ask the brothers if they need clothing, and then I will put the ring in my pocket.
The ring it looks like a symbol. You're not quite sure what this exactly means, but it looks like a symbol that seems to be one mountain, and then below that, upside down, 2 mountains. Like, so there's like a mountain on the top. So imagine a circle, and if you bisect the circle, the top of it has 1 mountain and the bottom has 2 mountains.
Okay.
Is it recognizable? Have we seen that anywhere?
No.
Okay.
You realize that the mountains are not like, it's not like a picture, right? It's just literal shapes, like triangle with 2 triangles underneath it. So that's what you find. Oh, I'm sorry. The ring is gold, to be clear.
I'm going to add it to my items.
I'll take some of the clothes and I put them in my bag.
Okay.
Along with the book and the inkwell that's dried up and the
Okay.
pen, whatever.
All right.
I think we pretty much resolved this area, so we're gonna have to get back down or wherever we gotta go.
Head back.
Should we make
Take
a
that.
attempt to look to see if they are gone away from that entrance that we just came in?
Well, we can go back to the intersection, and then from the intersection, how far was the 3-foot opening?
Like 90 feet.
Okay, so we can easily check that.
Okay. So you guys leave this area and go back down?
Yeah.
Okay. You get back down, and it's, where the tunnel meets the split. You go back, you sneak all the way up to where the narrow passages. You don't hear or see any of the creatures anymore.
Okay. Should we head down, see if we can come
Yes.
up the rear?
Slowly and stealthily start heading down.
Yeah.
checking for traps along the way. Son of a...
You head down this path, and it seems to be, again, kind of similar, almost like a natural fissure that maybe over time water had, eroded this path. But it looks like somebody came along and occasionally chipped out flat parts to make it a little more easy to navigate and not just like a straight up like water slide. So you guys go down this path, but this goes down quite a ways. I'm assuming your marching order is the same, and you're going down slowly to be stealthy.
Correct. I'm still holding the torch.
All right, you go down. You're taking your time. You're going along pretty stealthily, and as you get down about 90 feet, you get a whiff of that musky animal kind of smell.
I tell the brothers to wait.
Okay.
And what am I seeing? Are we going around a corner type vibe still?
It's still curling down, but I'm telling you, you're smelling this before you carry down. You're smelling this up ahead.
And I am. Can they smell us, or is it like in real life where the
you
smell
feel like you feel like you are downwind? Like this is like there's a draft following the vertical flow.
Yeah.
And
so
your
their scent is coming to us, but our scent is not going to them.
Right. Like your brother's torch is actually flickering and that smoke's heading up too.
Okay. So continue on slowly, carefully.
Now make a stealth check.
Should you put the torch out, brother? We're coming up towards him.
Yeah.
Okay.
21.
I keep the wood though. I keep it with me just in case I relight it. So I put it out.
So Cho, you kind of stealth up ahead. You get to what seems to be like a level point in this tunnel, and it opens up into a 10 by 10 kind of natural rocky cave, and you could see a fissure that's like 4 feet tall and 3 feet wide, very similar to like what you originally came into this whole complex through. And it looks like a normal sized human could probably squeeze through. And with your dark vision still active, you could see through that fissure opens up into a much larger cave. Now you can't see how big it is or what all is in there because you're only looking through, a slice this big, right? So like you would have to actually go through it to kind of see what's in there.
Is there anything of note in the 10 by 10?
That smell is ripe.
Okay. So is there anything of note in the 10 by 10 area that we're currently? Okay. So I'm going to go to the small hole and very slowly and quietly work my way so I can just get a visual on what's going on the other side.
Okay. So you kind of creep in. You're just looking through and you see that you are in what you feel is the back of a very large cavern, like 60 feet in each direction. As far as you can see with your dark vision, you don't see walls. Like, now the ceiling seems to be about 20 feet up. So you are in the back part of some very large, expansive cavern. You hear sounds of movement, like way off in the distance of the cave, and grunts and kind of like growls, but not coming towards you, kind of like farther up away.
Is there a way, what's the distance from the mouth of the 3x4, or does it open, is it all ground level, or is it up above and we drop in? How does it?
It looks like you are actually just below some kind of little ridge. So like it's almost like you're coming in at the lip of the stage, and if you pop up, that's ground level.
Okay, so let's mark this as a retreat point in case we need to get somewhere quick away from them. They can fit in here. So I'll just a note to self that if we dive back into that hole, maybe we'll be safe if we need to. I let the brothers know what I see, and then I move into the big cavern.
Okay. So you're the first to pop up. You kind of can see over here, this area looks like they don't come here very much. And part of that is because it seems like they use this back area to throw different things that they're discarding. So you see a lot of bones and carcasses and rotten things that have been desiccated and have been back here for a long time.
On the carcasses, is it animal or is it humanoid? What are we seeing?
Animal.
Okay. Anything else of note in this large area, or is it just basically a huge trash bin?
Make a nature roll.
14.
Okay. Well, so you see that there's like a lot of rotten material. You actually see some fungus, like mushroom kind of things growing along the walls and on some of this material.
With my knowledge of poisons, can I tell if these mushrooms are edible or poisonous?
You don't know if they're edible or not, and you don't know if they're poisonous or not.
Okay, so no, I can't tell. Okay.
I tell.
Okay, you go through, Cade?
Yeah.
All right. Same thing. So Shao doesn't have dark vision, right?
Correct.
So who's
Correct.
holding his hand?
I'll hold his hand. I'll hold my
Okay.
older brother's.
So you guys are kind of in this position where you've just entered this massive cavern. Like I said, the immediate walls around you go at least 60 feet and beyond.
Describe it.
20 feet to the ceiling and 60 feet out from where you're at least.
I describe it to my brother as we're going.
Okay, so I'm going to say this. If you want to explore this cavern, I need to know how. Are you just walking dead center out? Are you going to the left and following the walls? Are you going to the right following the walls?
Yeah,
I'll follow the wall to the left.
I think it'd be okay if Shao lit his torch just for, this part, so you can see. What do you think, Shao? You think it's okay?
I'd rather you lead the way and then not go down the middle of this thing because we don't know how deep it is, if there is any depth.
Yeah.
So I don't want to fall through something that's go around the
Okay.
side and get.
Yeah.
I'll treat
investigate
the edge like it's a ledge and just
Okay.
work
I'll-
my way around the
As
left
I'll
wall.
investigate the right, I think that's opposite of Shao, with Shao behind me.
I
So
follow
you're
Cade.
splitting.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
follow Cade.
We're like you're going on.
Okay, so I'm gonna go show first. You're going left along the wall. So you guys all kind of come out of the little dip and you're on the ground level. You follow the wall around to the left, Joe, and it goes about 80 feet and then it starts to curve. And you see now that it heads out, further. Once you get out of the mucky, gross stuff, you see that there's a lot of just flat earth. You see in the walls more of these veins of ore. You're not sure if this is silver, because you don't have a torch, and dark vision wouldn't necessarily reveal what kind of ore that is. So, but you could tell that there's a difference between the vein of ore and the rock. You know what I'm saying? On the other side, Cade, you're leading your brother and you're going along the other side, and it's a very similar thing. You go about 80 feet and it starts to curve around and you see the wall continue outward into this big cavern. The ceiling kind of dips down to like 10 feet at this point, but it's still pretty high. But towards the center of what you perceive to be the cavern, it's at its peak. That's where it's like 20 feet.
Mm-hmm.
You also know you see a few veins of this ore.
Can I use Druid craft just to make a momentary light in my hand to kind of like inspect it just a little?
Yes, I will allow that. Go ahead and make a nature check.
Not bad. Nature 17.
Okay. This does not look like silver. It looks like iron.
Okay.
Was any mining equipment left behind? at all? Is there anything loose in this area?
You don't know if you're in the mine.
Mm-hmm.
You think that you're maybe at the level where the big cavern was, where the beasts were, where you had your encounter. You feel like the mine would be lower than where you are.
Right. Makes sense. So the cavern comes around. Have we kind of met each other at the end of this?
I'm going to have you guys make stealth checks.
Okay.
As you proceed around the walls.
26.
Not so
22.
good for me.
I got a
7.
22.
7.
Okay, so Shao, you are deftly stealthing along this wall, and you're making your way across on the left side, and the further out you go, the more you smell that ripe smell, like you're getting closer, and you can see with your dark vision that you've now gotten to a point where the rocky floor of this cave kind of just gently goes up a little further and levels out again, and it seems like maybe as you're getting closer, you see like a little dip, like a little niche. And it looks like each of these niches seem to open up into sort of like a 10 by 10 little alcove. And some of these alcoves have animal furs, almost like bedding, and like twigs and brush and leaves. You don't see anything in these little alcoves, but you kind of get to the first of the alcoves, you peek around the corner, and you see that there's like this little nest area, okay? Brother Cade and Shao, you're going up along your side, and you're trying to be stealthy, and Cade, you kind of kick a rock, okay? Like, there's loose rocks on the ground. You kind of kick a rock, and the rock's like, and it kind of makes a
full of a took.
Nothing seems to happen. I mean, you don't hear any reactions, but you kind of get to a point where it goes up this little incline, and you see like an alcove on your side. Shao, you're just holding onto your brother. It is pitch dark, right? Nothing.
Is the ground stone still, or is it now more of a mud?
No, it's still hard rock. You're still very much in the mountain. In the distance, you guys hear the occasional howl or kind of like growling sound, but still not very close to where you are. Cho, you look across the cavern, and just at the edge of your dark vision, you see your brothers. And likewise, Cade, you kind of at this first alcove, you look and see your brothers. So it looks like seems like there's these little alcoves that have nests along each of the sides.
Be a perfect area to ambush them if they were sleeping, but they're not.
Nope. They're probably handling my wolves still.
I'd like to move closer to the brothers so that we can have a discussion.
Okay. You're going to move to them. Make a stealth check.
Okay. 19.
All right, you do. You clear the ground and you get over to your brothers.
So it appears we found their sleeping quarters, but we need to go further to see if they're grouped together or if we can kill them one by one.
If we run into them again, I can summon another batch of wolves. I'm still concentrating on the previous batch, which
Can you
be
feel
ending
them?
pretty
Are they
soon.
Okay.
I can't feel them. I can just feel me concentrating on the spell. So, what do you think, brothers? Should we go in and...
Is there light coming from ahead of us at all, or is it still pretty dark?
Dark, pitch dark. Like
Pitch
no
dark.
outside moonlight, no mouth of a cave.
Nothing. No fires, no
There's
flickers, no
barely a draft. Barely a draft.
Can we feel the direction of the draft, and is it going away from us or coming towards us?
I believe it'd be coming towards us to be
Yes.
sucked up through the
Yeah,
hole.
because back through where we came.
So it's the direction is still, you could feel, okay, so if we light up a torch right now, the flame would be going behind us where we came from. Okay. So, I mean, I light it off because I need to
Okay.
see. I know I can trust Cade to get me out, but I light it back off again and momentarily look at the flickering flame and making sure that it's going the direction and it doesn't change. As soon as it
Okay.
changes, I'm going to put it out.
Okay. All right.
Brothers, are we
Let's
going
continue.
Yeah,
Yes,
Joe,
okay.
move on, man.
I'll
Okay. So
continue.
you guys are
stealthily.
moving together now along the right wall.
Yep.
You pass 3 more of these alcoves. The next few of them are a little bit larger, like 15 by 15. And they're not exactly like, these aren't man-made or beast-made. They're natural. So it's not like they're exactly spaced out perfectly. So you in total traverse another like 60 feet past these next 3 alcoves.
So in a
Make
moment,
perception checks first and then stealth checks second.
17 on the perception. And 24 on the stealth.
Okay.
That's just him or all of us?
All of you.
Okay. Perception, I got 16, and then what'd you say, stealth?
Mm-hmm.
16.
Okay, Cade, you're muted.
16 on the perception, 19 on the stealth.
Okay, so all of you made it. So you get to past the third alcove, and you're still being very stealthy. Shao, I'm assuming, has his torch held pretty low so that it's not just like, you see across from you, about 40 feet across from you, in an alcove, there seems to be one of the beasts. And it doesn't have its front towards you, but it's laying on one of those nests. And it kind of is like it's curled up on a nest with its face facing away from you.
Just in our perception as we pass the previous alcoves, can we tell if there's a hierarchy to these creatures? Like maybe some of the original alcoves were for the leadership groups and then the bigger ones were for like groups of them?
You know what? That is a fantastic question. If there was a anthropology skill, but you know what? You do. You don't have to make a roll. You figure that you're not quite sure what the hierarchy is, but you do feel like maybe the smaller ones are set up for individuals and the larger alcoves might be set up for couples or familial groups.
But their size is, they're at least 9 feet tall, right?
The ones that you have seen are all
Adults.
large. Yeah, they're large.
Okay, and looking at this one that's cuddled up right now, would we say he's around 9 feet tall?
Yeah, pretty
Okay,
big.
Okay.
Fuck.
And look, man, I mean, stealth is at our advantage right now. But,
Yeah.
I mean, if we
If
get
I'm
any,
gonna
if
if
we
I'm
get
gonna
any
try to
closer,
assassinate it, I got to try it right now. Can we tell out beyond where the creature is? Can we tell if there's how far is he, like how much depth is there between him and the rest of whatever?
From where you're at on this side, if you look across, you got 60 feet of dark vision. The next alcove over is empty. You peek around on your side, empty. So at least for 60 feet, there's no one or nothing rather in that area.
I'm gonna sneak alcove to alcove until I get closer to the beast.
Make a stealth check. You guys hanging back?
yes.
16.
Okay. Now, what are you trying to find?
I am trying to see. We haven't looked in the alcoves yet, so I just want to kind of peer around in some of the empty ones. But I'm really using it as a trail to get closer to the beast without detection.
Okay,
And
so
to see
you're
if I can
crossing over
see
to the
anything
left.
else.
You cross over to the left side. You see a larger alcove. And in that larger alcove, you see kind of like 3 nest beds. One of them's like definitely the same size as like the other big ones that you've seen, and 2 of them are smaller, but no one's in there.
Families.
You get over to the one where you saw the beast curled up. Make a perception check.
17.
There's something odd. The beast that's curled up is not making any noise. And as you are peering at it with your dark vision, you notice that it's also not moving, as in like you don't see its chest moving. And looking closer, you see that its white fur is quite pink. You feel like this one is not alive.
Can I tell if it's the one that we killed in the other cavern?
It is.
God, they'd already found it and dragged it back here? Jeez.
Your telltale sign is, in fact, as I said, it's not looking at you. The very wound that you inflicted on it when you jumped on its back. It is the same one. You're certain it is dead, and it has been laid on this nest.
I think I killed someone's daddy. Damn it. All right. I guess we got to keep going forward to see if we can approach another creature. Keep looking for more of them.
Okay. You guys move forward. You go another 30 feet past another alcove, and there's space between these alcoves now, like 15 to 20 feet between each alcove of just rock. But as you're going along, you sense and you see like the flickering of the torch. You're getting closer to some other breakthrough area because there is a little more of an airflow.
I put it out.
Okay. As you guys are moving forward, you pass 2 more of these alcoves, and these are also larger. One of them has 2 large nest beds, and another one has a large nest bed with 1 smaller nest bed. In the one that has 1 large and 1 small, you see another white-furred creature sleeping in a curled position in the smaller nest. Make perception checks.
Oh, thank goodness.
18.
21.
You see this one is
Dirty
white-furred. Yeah, you see this one is white-furred. And, well, actually, Shao wouldn't be able to see this without a torch. But you see that this one has white fur, and it's breathing. It seems to be asleep.
Does it appear to be much smaller than the other ones that we've encountered?
It appears to be your size. It's about 5 or 6 feet. Now it's curled up, but you see its chest kind of come up and then exhale, and it seems to be sleeping.
Is it bloodied?
No.
Are we going full Anakin Skywalker here, guys?
We came in to do some work, bro. Came in to do some work.
Look, I mean, right now, if we wake this thing up, it's gonna shout. We have everybody gonna be coming down here.
That's why our brother Cho, the Shadow, needs to cut its throat open first, so it can't shout.
But it
I'll
might be
move
to our
in
advantage to use it as a tool. But that's my only thinking is we need. I don't know. I'm kind of torn up right now.
I imagine even at our size, it's going to be powerful.
Yeah.
I don't think I can bind it and gag it.
That's why you need to assassinate it. That's just my opinion.
I can't see it, so I'm just basing it off of what your descriptions were. So I'm just gonna sit back and.
Are you stealthing any closer into it?
I will stealth in as close as possible without detection.
Make the stealth check.
20. Dirty.
You are right over it. It's sleeping. You don't have to, if you decide to assassinate it, you don't have to roll. It's automatically a crit. You just tell me the damage.
I'm gonna assassinate it.
Okay, so you
Because
get
that
an
would
automatic.
be in character.
Really?
Right.
You get an automatic 8 for your sword, plus a D8, plus your modifier, plus your sneak attack damage.
Jesus.
If you're slitting a throat, wouldn't that be like render that thing useless? I mean, that's like going up to a
It
lamb
depends
and
on
cutting
how
its
tough
throat.
its skin is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I doubt it, man. You penetrated the other one with an arrow.
So roll me a D8 and roll me your 3D6.
20
total.
20 total.
So 8 plus 18 is
43.
26, plus 20 is 46. It is dead. It makes a gurgling sound and kind of like shudders a little bit and then stops.
Okay, I'm gonna search the room.
You find like twigs and leaves and
A stuffed doll.
yeah, stuffed. No, there's no like objects. There's no objects. There's
There's no stuffed animals.
no. It's
That
just
was a joke.
It's just bedding. Just bedding.
Killed Bambi.
My soul is already burning. It's okay. All right, I'm gonna move forward, trying to find the next one.
Okay. You guys stealth forward again, and just to be clear, Shao is blind because he's not bringing a torch.
I'm holding his hand. I'm holding his
Okay.
hand.
So you guys are stealthing forward again. You go another 2 alcoves, and you see with dark vision that there's a this area of the cave narrows to an opening that is now kind of like a natural archway that's about 20 feet tall and like 10 feet wide. So it looks like for them it would be single file going through. Okay. And beyond that is another chamber.
This might be a good way to tunnel them. We talked about that whole 300 aspect.
Yeah.
So you
For
see, as you guys kind of sneak up and you're looking through, you're at the doorway of this thing, you're kind of looking through this arch tunnel. This cavern is total 60 feet wide, and you see that the floor of this is kind of looser rock with some dirt and silt and sand, and it looks like this is maybe the cavern that you guys would have gone into if you had gone into a cavern, because you see across it, so it's like 30 feet in each direction, like 60 wide, 60 deep, and at that 60 deep it looks like there's a smaller 10 by 10 by 10 tunnel that leads into this. So you still don't see the mouth of the cave, but you're in a middle area. Make your perception checks, not Shao, just Cade and Cho. The smell of the ripe animal musk is very strong.
16.
14.
Okay. So 16. At the end across from you of this secondary cavern where that arched tunnel leads off, you see one of the large white furs kind of standing and leaning up against the wall.
Is his back to me, or is he? Am I on his side?
Yeah, his back is to you. He seems to be looking down the tunnel that comes into this place. So
How
he's
close?
60 feet across from where you are to where he is 60 feet.
I'm gonna stealth as close as I can to this one without detection to see, kind of if he's alone where he stands or if there are others.
Okay, make a stealth check.
21.
Cade. Okay, Cade.
Is my spell over?
Your spell is over. Your wolves never seemed to die,
Okay.
nor did they seem to get into combat.
Okay. They went to the other camp.
Cade. No, actually, you wouldn't. You're not close enough. So Cho, you sneak up, and I'm going to say that you get within 30 feet, right? You split the difference. You go along the wall. You're about 30 feet away, and you could see that this one seems to be like a sentinel, almost like he's guarding the way into this. And he kind of like leans up against the wall, and then he stands up and he kind of looks into the tunnel, and then he kind of comes back. And he turns and he looks back, but he doesn't seem to see you or your brothers.
I'm going to watch him long enough to see if there's any patterns to his movement.
It's literally like he seems to just be guarding this spot. But he seems, make an insight check.
7.
Yeah, you're not really sure
Worst roll of the day.
what his mood or his, motivation is, but it seems like he's in this spot, and he kind of, he'll occasionally pace back and forth, look down the tunnel, and then come back.
So, just so I'm clear, I'm trying to see if there's a way that I can go up behind him like I did with the one in the first part of the battle and jump on his back with the throat deal. But if there's wall and rock protruding my if I have to go into his line of sight in order to get around him, it won't work. But if I can stay behind him,
you feel like there's no way you could just sneak past him, because he's like the size of the doorway that you're in. You know what I mean? Like for you to sneak past him into this small, into the tunnel that feeds into this chamber, he's not moving far enough away from that entrance. He kind of is sentinel there.
And any attack that I do on him is going to he's going to howl.
If you don't kill him in one round, you estimate that that's accurate.
Yeah. Okay, so I round the brothers up and let's powwow and see how we want to attack this guy.
Okay, you go back, right?
Yes, stealthily.
So you guys are in the what I'll call the sleeping chamber, the living quarters. Cho describes to you what the situation is.
There's one large white fur what seems to be standing guard over the tunnel entryway. And if I don't have a direct line to assassinate him without the high probability that he will alert the others to our presence.
Well, we knew it was going to turn into a fight at some point. What do you think?
We attack him and then we draw them to this small, narrow tunnel where only one at a time can fit?
Yeah, that's kind of what we're in, right?
Yeah. I guess that's the move then, huh?
Yeah. If they push us back, I can... So for us, not the white furs, are we 2 abreast, 3? How wide is it for us?
2.
2, okay.
Because this is the opening between where you guys are, like the sleeping area, and this middle chamber is 10 feet wide and 20 feet tall.
Yeah. If we hold the entrance, I could summon another batch of wolves. So if it breaks past us, we're not like vastly outnumbered if one gets past. Ooh.
What area of the creature's body can I attack undetected? Is it just anything on his back, legs, ankles?
I mean, you could sneak up to him and attack him. Like, you can make a sneak attack. He didn't sense that you were there.
No, that's what I'm going to do.
You can cut a ligament, bro. I mean, you can cut.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to slice his Achilles.
Achilles, and then that renders him pretty much done. But remember,
go for the throat. Just go for the throat.
I can't get to his throat.
Yeah, you can.
No?
Oh, I can?
Yeah. If you're a normal
just
size
can't get
man.
past him.
I just feel like if he's sitting up against the wall.
He's 3 feet taller than you, but like when he gets up to go and look down the tunnel, you could still jump up and attack.
Okay. So I'm going to place myself at the mouth of the tunnel, and I'm on the ready with my sword, and as soon as he turns that head, I'm going to try to slice that throat.
Okay. So you're going to make the sneak attack, so it's with advantage.
I gotta Can we like really like all three of us do it at once? Maybe give us a better advantage. Like if
Well, you
Cade
can't see.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah,
see.
and it would only be two of us because we can't fit three unless we go into the open area. We can't fit three side by side.
Yeah.
By side. My 19.
Okay, so that's a hit.
With advantage.
So you're gonna do critical damage. So roll me your 8 and your sneak attack damage, and I'll add that to your crit damage.
Okay, 8 plus 6, 14 plus 7 is 21.
Okay, so 21 plus 8 is 29. Plus 18 is 37, 47. You take a significant chunk of flesh and fur out of his neck. He doesn't howl immediately. He gargles and like grabs his neck and kind of falls back and swats out wildly at you, completely caught off guard. And he misses. And now it is time for initiative, everyone.
Let's get him.
I got an 18.
Yeah.
Shao, what'd you have?
18.
Okay. Cade?
8.
You sound like me, brother.
Shao?
I know. I didn't even drink.
Shao?
He got 18.
I got an
also.
18. Yeah.
Okay.
A
So
14.
Shao, you're out of, unless you have blind fighting, you're basically out of combat until you light a torch, right? So Shao, you're able to go first, and then Shao's lighting a torch.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
go ahead.
I'm sticking with the throat so that his vocal cords will be severed and he won't be able to call for help. And that's a 19.
That's a hit. You don't get your sneak attack damage yet
Right.
because your brothers aren't there to flank.
So
Well, he
I
hardly
rolled
hasn't
an 8.
taken the initiative, but he's not taking combat, so he still gets the sneak attack.
He is
with his
in
attack.
combat. The first one was the sneak attack.
But he hasn't gone in turn.
I already
That's how it
used
works.
the sneak attack when I first approached him. Now we're in regular combat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got an 8 on the damage.
Okay. All right. Shao, it's your turn technically.
And then I'm
so-
going to disengage with my bonus action. Sorry.
Okay, disengage. All right. Shao, you're sparking up a torch.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Does that count as an action?
Hurry up.
It's an action. You could still move and you could still bonus action. So you could spark a torch, run up, and like do a bonus action to kick him or something if you wanted.
Give me 1 second, guys.
Okay, Cade, you're up.
Run up and do poison spray.
Okay. He has a 19. Okay, so now he is going to attack. Shao, 15 and a 17.
15 and 17 hits for sure, and so does 15.
Okay.
I will use my uncanny dodge to lessen the
Sorry about
damage.
that.
So that is going to be a total of 34 damage, so you'll take 17.
Ouch!
He does not howl because he's bleeding. But he does attack. So now it's back to the top of the order. Shao, you are up.
Still going. I'm trying to take his head all the way off at this point.
Yep.
That is a 19.
Okay. Damage.
5.
Okay. Shao, you can now attack. You can't attack with your staff two-handed because you have a torch in one hand, but you could do an attack and a flurry of blows. Yes.
When I dash after my attack, how far out of the way does that put me?
Well, you can't dash after the attack because then he'd get an attack of opportunity against you.
Okay, gotcha. I'm not sure how those mechanics work exactly.
All right, let's go ahead and I'll do 2 attacks here. I got a 16 and a 18.
Both
on
are
my
hits.
Yeah, both are hits.
Yep.
All right, so, and I'm going to go ahead and use a stunning strike on one of them. So
Okay, he's going to make a con save.
yes, sir.
He fails. He is stunned.
Okay. He takes 10 on the unarmed strike,
Okay.
and then that's with the stunning strike. So okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Unarmed strike, because I'm use my hands right now. So I stun him on top of that hit, and then flurry of blows would give me an advantage.
You're going to attack again.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that second attack hits as well. So I just need to do the points, and that's a 9 points of damage on that one.
Okay.
So that's so
You are
what's that,
escalating.
16?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So he is stunned. Cade, go ahead. You have advantage if you're making an attack.
Well, I don't have any weapons out. I'm just gonna. Can I move around to the other side?
Yes.
The flank. I'll do that. I'll move there. Wild shape into direwolf and go for the bite.
Okay. Go ahead. You have advantage on the bite.
That definitely hits. That's 21. Also needs to make a strength saving throw. He'll be prone. That's 2d6. 7 damage.
He fails the saving throw. What's the saving throw?
Uh,
What's it for?
Oh, if he'll go prone.
Okay. You knock him prone.
7 damage.
Okay. He is stunned and prone. So Shao, he's basically done.
Yeah. So based on him being stunned, prone, and I have flank, I'm gonna go in for the assassinate.
Yes. So you automatically get advantage. So roll.
21.
Yeah. And then you will do full sneak attack and damage. So roll your D8 and your 3D6.
So I got 12 on the D6 and 1 on the D8.
Okay, so that's 13 plus 3 is 16 plus 18 is 34 plus 8 is 42. Good Lord. 42 plus 7, hold on, 49. He's dead. You wipe him out. He never gets up from being stunned and knocked prone. You basically go in for the killing blow. And as you wipe him out, he's dead. I'm going to make a roll. It's silent. You don't hear any howls. You don't hear any grunts or growls. You do sense that this tunnel leads closer to something where there's maybe fresh air.
Okay. After we kind of clear out this area, do you guys want to drag the creature into the tunnel hole?
What would that do?
Just line of sight. If one of the other creatures looks in here, they won't see a dead comrade.
Well, we would have to prop him up in order to make him look like he's standing up, not leaning over.
Weekend at Bernie's style.
So you would have to drag him 60 feet back into the nesting area, and then probably another 60 feet to one of the alcoves.
I'll just check the area for anything interesting, and then prepare to move on to the next round.
Okay. You guys are gonna scout this tunnel out.
Yeah.
Okay. With the torch or without the torch?
I'll put it back out again.
Okay. Make stealth checks.
17.
I got a 13.
10.
Okay.
I'm in wolf form.
You move forward. You follow this 10 by 10 by 10 tunnel as it leads closer and closer to a bit of fresh air, but you're also smelling fresher and fresher animal funk. And you get to about 90 feet along this winding tunnel, and it comes to a split and you see that there's another tunnel that goes another way. And then this opens up into a cave. And this is the cave entrance that you guys had your previous combat in. Because about 60 feet forward, you see the mouth of the cave. You see a little bit of moonlight coming through. It sounds like the rain has died down.
Can I tell which direction the heaviest funk is coming from?
It comes from the
animal
other
funk?
tunnel. Not the way out, not the cave and the entrance, but the other tunnel.
Should we go back to the other tunnel?
And this
If
is
we
the tunnel
jacked up.
you have not gone down.
So that's so far. Let me get this right. So far we took out 3 of these things.
Well,
Think
two
so.
and a child.
It doesn't matter. There's 3.
That he wasn't one of the original 8, though. I'm positive.
We don't
of
know.
Yes,
we don't know.
Okay.
You are positive that the smaller one was not part of the original 8 that you saw and have seen.
So we took out 2 then.
So at least 6.
it. At least minimum.
Mhm.
Or,
You're muted
Uh,
unless you did that on purpose.
no, I did. I didn't want to.
So
Make noise.
back the way you came, down the different tunnel that smells funkier, or out the cave.
Do you think you can hold out, brother? You're pretty hurt.
Yeah, I'm really damaged. I definitely need the healing touch or a rest or something.
I don't know. Meta moment between the brothers. I mean, do we need to take a break here and then and heal up
Well,
for you guys? Because
Yeah, if we take a short rest, you can spend hit dice to recover.
We can rest right here in their little dwelling spot too.
yeah,
So do you want to fall back? Do you want to fall back to like one of the?
The
We
alcoves.
could fall back into the part where like we came in the back, so they can't see us,
Okay.
and then we
So
could.
you
rest.
guys make your way back through the tunnel, then through the middle chamber. You see the dead one that you killed. You go back through the nesting chamber and you pass 2 more dead ones. And then you go all the way back through all the garbage and crap and mushrooms, and you drop down into that little hole and go through the little 3-foot wide crevice, and you find yourselves at that back
Yeah.
secret entrance. And that is where we will end this episode of High Adventure, everybody.
Woo!
Make sure that you tune in for the next
Ah.
episode to find out what the brothers Zhen end up doing in this mountainous tunnel complex. Thank you, as always, for liking, subscribing, for watching, for all of your support. Thank you to my patrons on Patreon, and we'll see you on the next episode of High Adventure.
Well, hello, and welcome to Bill Allen World. I am Wizzy, the Wizard. I'm back once again to remind you to subscribe and click on the notifications button, and also watch videos that are over there. Tune in to the next episode of whatever show you are just watching, and watch other shows featuring Bill. He made me say that, because he's a narcissist. Okay, bye.